Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where we dive deep into the world of movies that deserve your attention. Today, I'm super excited to talk about a film that's got it all: mystery, style, laughs, and that edge-of-your-seat tension that keeps you guessing. I'm talking about A Simple Favor from 2018. If you haven't seen it yet, trust me, you're in for a treat. Let me walk you through why this movie should be next on your watch list. I'll share every little detail I can think of, from the behind-the-scenes magic to the stellar cast, all while keeping things spoiler-free because I want you to experience the twists and turns yourself. Picture this: a story that blends everyday life with high-stakes intrigue, wrapped in a glossy, fashionable package. It's the kind of movie that makes you laugh one minute and question everything the next. So, grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's explore why A Simple Favor is a must-watch. First off, let's start with the basics. A Simple Favor is a 2018 American mystery thriller film with strong comedy elements, directed by Paul Feig. Now, if you're not familiar with Paul Feig, he's a powerhouse in the industry, known for his knack at blending humor with heart and a touch of suspense. He burst onto the scene with films like Bridesmaids in 2011, which was a massive hit and earned an Academy Award nomination for Best Original Screenplay. That movie really put him on the map for his ability to handle ensemble casts and sharp, witty dialogue. He followed that up with The Heat in 2013, starring Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, and then Spy in 2015, again with McCarthy, which showed his talent for action comedy. Feig also directed the 2016 Ghostbusters reboot, which, despite some controversy, highlighted his skill in reimagining classics with a fresh twist. What makes him perfect for A Simple Favor is his experience in female-led stories. He knows how to let strong women shine on screen without making it feel forced. In this film, he takes a step into darker territory, drawing from influences like Alfred Hitchcock and adding his signature comedic flair. It's like if Gone Girl met The Devil Wears Prada, but with Feig's unique spin. The screenplay was written by Jessica Sharzer, who's no stranger to adapting complex stories. She worked on TV shows like American Horror Story and adapted the novel Speak into a film. For A Simple Favor, she adapted the 2017 novel of the same name by Darcy Bell. Darcy Bell is an American author, and this was her debut novel, published by HarperCollins. The book itself is a gripping psychological thriller that explores themes of friendship, secrets, and the facade of perfect lives. Bell drew inspiration from her own experiences as a preschool teacher and mother, infusing the story with relatable suburban elements. The adaptation process was fascinating. Feig read the book and immediately saw its potential for the big screen. He wanted to amp up the visual style and humor, making it more cinematic while staying true to the source material's core. Sharzer's script keeps the essence, but adds layers of satire and glamour that make the film pop. Now, let's talk about the production side, because there's so much juicy detail here. The movie was produced by FICO Entertainment, Paul Feig's own company, in association with Lionsgate and Braun Creative. Lionsgate handled the distribution, and they're known for hits like the Hunger Games series and John Wick. The budget for A Simple Favor was a modest $20 million, which is pretty impressive considering how polished and high-end it looks. They didn't skimp on quality. Every frame feels luxurious. Filming took place primarily in Toronto, Canada, which stood in for the suburban Connecticut setting. Toronto's diverse locations allowed them to capture that perfect mix of quaint neighborhoods and sleek urban vibes. Principal photography started in August 2017 and wrapped up by October 2017, so it was a tight shoot. But Feig's efficient directing style made it work. They used practical locations like actual houses and schools to ground the story in reality, while adding stylish touches in post-production. One of the standout aspects is the cinematography by John Schwartzman. Schwartzman is a veteran. He's worked on blockbusters like Jurassic World, The Amazing Spider-Man, and Seabiscuit, which earned him an Oscar nomination. In A Simple Favor, he uses a vibrant color palette with lots of bold reds, blues, and golds that reflect the characters' personalities. The camera work is dynamic, with smooth tracking shots and close-ups that build tension without giving anything away. It's visually stunning, almost like a fashion magazine come to life. Speaking of fashion, the costume design by Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus is phenomenal. Kalfus has credits including Hidden Figures and Chocolate. Here, she creates outfits that are integral to the story. Think tailored suits, elegant dresses, and accessories that scream sophistication. Blake Lively's character in particular has a wardrobe that's to die for, inspired by high-end designers like Ralph Lauren and Tom Ford. It's not just pretty. The clothes tell you so much about the people wearing them. The editing was handled by Brent White, a frequent collaborator with Feig. White edited Bridesmaids, Spy, and The Heat, so he knows how to pace Feig's films perfectly. The runtime is 117 minutes, which feels just right. It builds slowly, but keeps you hooked with quick cuts and montages that add energy. The sound design and score elevate everything too. The original score was composed by Theodore Shapiro, who's scored films like The Devil Wears Prada and Spy. His music mixes eerie undertones with upbeat tracks, creating that thriller comedy balance. There's also a killer soundtrack featuring songs from artists like Brigitte Bardot, with French pop influences that add a chic international flavor. Tracks like Ca Plaine pour moi by Plastic Bertrand and Bonnie and Clyde by Serge Gainsbourg set the mood perfectly. All right, let's dive into the cast, because this ensemble is what makes the movie sing. Leading the pack is Anna Kendrick as Stephanie Smothers. Kendrick is an absolute gem. You probably know her from the Pitch Perfect series, where she played Baker Mitchell and showcased her singing and comedic timing. She got her big break with Up in the Air in 2009, earning an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Kendrick's charm lies in her relatability. She's got this girl-next-door vibe mixed with sharp wit. In A Simple Favor, she plays a widowed mommy vlogger who's perky, organized, and a bit naive on the surface. Kendrick prepared by starting her own vlog to get into character, which shows her dedication. Her performance is layered. She brings humor through awkward moments and vulnerability that draws you in. Opposite her is Blake Lively as Emily Nelson. Lively is stunning and versatile. She rose to fame with Gossip Girl as Serena van der Woodsen, then transitioned to films like The Age of Adeline and The Shallows, where she showed her dramatic chops. In this movie, she embodies mystery and glamour. Her character is a high-powered PR executive with a flawless sense of style and an enigmatic personality. Lively has said in interviews that she loved playing someone so bold and unapologetic. She even helped design some of the costumes, drawing from her real-life fashion icon status. The chemistry between Kendrick and Lively is electric. Their friendship dynamic drives the story, and it's fun to watch them bounce off each other. Then there's Henry Golding as Sean Townsend, Emily's husband. Golding was a breakout star in 2018. This was his film debut, right before Crazy Rich Asians exploded. He was a former BBC travel show host, and his natural charisma shines through. Golding brings a suave British charm to the role, making Sean intriguing and multifaceted. He prepared by reading the book and working closely with Feig to nail the accent and mannerisms. Supporting the main trio is Andrew Rannells as Darren, one of Stephanie's fellow parents. Rannells is known for Broadway hits like The Book of Mormon and TV's Girls. His comedic timing adds levity to group scenes. Aparna Nancherla plays Sona, another parent bringing her stand-up comedy background for hilarious deadpan moments. She's appeared in shows like BoJack Horseman and Corporate. We also have Jean Smart as Margaret McLandon, Emily's mother-in-law. Smart is a legend, Emmy winner for Frasier and Samantha Who, and more recently in Hacks. Her role adds depth and a touch of eccentricity. Bashir Salahuddin plays Detective Somerville, bringing authority and humor. He's from Glow and Top Gun Maverick. Ian Ho and Joshua Satine play Nikki and Miles, the kids in the story, and they're adorable without being cloying. The casting was spot on. Feig auditioned extensively to find actors who could handle both the light and dark tones. Behind the camera, the production design by Jefferson Sage is worth mentioning. Sage worked on Bridesmaids and Spy, creating sets that feel lived in yet aspirational. The houses in the film are gorgeous. One is a modern mansion with glass walls and art pieces, reflecting wealth and secrecy. The visual effects, though subtle, were handled by companies like Method Studios, adding seamless enhancements to certain scenes. The film's rating is R for language, some sexual content, nudity, drug use, and brief violence, so it's aimed at adults who appreciate mature themes. Now, let's talk about how the movie was received because it's a testament to its appeal. A Simple Favor premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival on September 10, 2018. before its wide release on September 14, 2018. It opened strong, grossing $16 million in its first weekend in North America, eventually earning $53.5 million domestically and $44.1 million internationally for a worldwide total of $97.6 million. That's a solid return on that $20 million budget, proving it resonated with audiences. Critics loved it too. It holds an 84% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 248 reviews, with an average score of 6.9 out of 10. The consensus praises its stylish direction, sharp script, and the performances, especially Kendrick and Lively. Metacritic gives it a 67 out of 100 from 40 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Reviewers highlighted Feig's genre-bending approach. The Hollywood Reporter called it a deliciously twisted thriller with a dash of comedy. Variety noted the irresistible chemistry between the leads. Some compared it to Hitchcock's suspense films like Rear Window or Vertigo, but with a modern, feminist twist. It didn't win major awards, but it was nominated for a People's Choice Award for Favorite Dramatic Movie and a Saturn Award for Best Thriller Film. Blake Lively got a nomination for Best Actress in a Thriller at the National Film and Television Awards. The film's success led to talks of a sequel, which was announced in 2022, with Feig, Kendrick, and Lively returning, based on Bell's follow-up novel. As of now, it's in development, so fans have something to look forward to. Thematically, A Simple Favor explores so much without ever feeling preachy. It's about the complexities of female friendships, how they can be supportive yet competitive, genuine yet deceptive. It delves into motherhood in the social media age, with Stephanie's vlog highlighting the pressure to project perfection. There's commentary on class differences, ambition, and the secrets we all keep. The suburban setting contrasts with the characters' inner turmoil, creating a sense of unease beneath the surface. It's empowering too, showing women taking control in unexpected ways. The humor comes from situational awkwardness and witty banter, lightening the mood without undermining the thriller elements. What makes this movie stand out in 2018's landscape? That year had big releases like Avengers: Infinity War, Black Panther, and A Quiet Place, but A Simple Favor carved its niche as a smart, adult-oriented thriller. It came at a time when female-led stories were gaining momentum, post-#MeToo, and it delivers strong, flawed female characters who drive the plot. The fashion and aesthetics influenced trends. Blake Lively's suits became a talking point, inspiring red carpet looks. It's also rewatchable. Once you know the story, you spot clever foreshadowing and details you missed the first time. If you're a fan of thrillers like Gone Girl or The Girl on the Train, this will scratch that itch with added humor. Or if you love stylish films like Ocean's 8 or Crazy Rich Asians, the glamour will hook you. It's perfect for a movie night with friends. Discuss the outfits, the twists, the laughs. And for those into adaptations, comparing it to Darcy Bell's book is fun. The film enhances the visuals while keeping the psychological depth. Let me share some fun trivia to round this out. During filming, Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively became real friends, which translated to their on-screen chemistry. They improvised some scenes, adding natural flair. Paul Feig encouraged ad-libs, especially in comedic moments. The film's title comes from a line in the story, symbolizing how small requests can lead to big complications. There's a cameo by Linda Cardellini as Diana Hyland, adding star power. She's from Dead to Me and Scooby-Doo. The marketing was clever. Trailers teased the mystery without revealing too much, using stylish visuals and the tagline, "What Happened to Emily?" It built buzz on social media, with fans theorizing before release. The home video release included extras like deleted scenes, a director's commentary, and featurettes on the fashion and adaptation. It's available on Blu-ray, DVD, and streaming platforms like Netflix or Amazon Prime, depending on your region. The film's impact extends to pop culture. It inspired memes about martinis and power suits, and discussions on toxic friendships. If you caught my last deep dive on A Simple Favor, you know how much I adore this stylish, twisty gem from 2018. But let's keep the conversation going because there's so much more to unpack, especially now that we're in 2026. And the world of this film has expanded in exciting ways. Today, I'm picking right up where we left off, diving even deeper into the behind-the-scenes magic, more trivia, the incredible performances, the cultural impact, and yes, the big update on what happened next with these characters. As your friendly narrator and movie enthusiast, I'm here to convince you why A Simple Favor isn't just worth watching, it's essential viewing for anyone who loves smart thrillers with killer style and laugh-out-loud moments. And remember, I'll keep everything spoiler-free so you can discover the surprises yourself. Picking up from the cast, one thing that really elevated this film was how Paul Feig encouraged improvisation. In interviews from 2018, both Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively talked about how Feig gave them freedom to play with the dialogue, especially in those boozy, chatty scenes between Stephanie and Emily. Kendrick mentioned she started her own mock vlog during prep to nail Stephanie's perky, perfectionist energy, complete with crafts and recipes that felt authentically cringy yet charming. Lively, on the other hand, drew from her real-life fashion expertise. She collaborated closely with costume designer Renee Ehrlich-Kalfas to make Emily's wardrobe feel like an extension of her mysterious personality. Those power suits, the bold colors, the accessories, they weren't random. Every piece was chosen to scream confidence and hide secrets. Fun fact, some of the outfits were inspired by icons like Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and 90s supermodel vibes, mixed with modern edge. The contrast between Kendrick's practical, cardigan and jeans mom look and Lively's high-fashion armor is visual storytelling at its finest. Henry Golding, in his breakout year, brought such effortless charm to Sean. He was fresh off Crazy Rich Asians buzz, but Feig cast him because of his natural warmth and subtle intensity. Golding has shared that he worked on the British accent and the character's quiet pain, making Sean feel real amid all the glamour. The supporting cast added layers too. Andrew Rannells' Darren is hilariously judgmental. Aparna Nancherla's deadpan Sona steals every scene she's in, and Jean Smart as the eccentric mother-in-law brings that dry wit she's famous for. Even the kids, played by Joshua Satine and Ian Ho, are spot on, cute without being annoying, which is tough to pull off. Behind the scenes, the Toronto shoot was intense, but fun. They filmed in real homes and schools around the city, including Unionville for those picturesque suburban streets. The production used cutting-edge Panavision Millennium DXL 8K cameras, giving the film that crisp, vibrant look that makes everything pop. Cinematographer John Schwartzman lit it bright and colorful on purpose. Feig wanted to contrast the dark themes with a sunny, almost sitcom aesthetic. That's why the thriller elements hit harder. You're lulled into comfort, then bam, tension builds. The score by Theodore Shapiro mixes suspenseful strings with playful French pop influences, like those Serge Gainsbourg tracks that give it a chic retro feel. One of my favorite trivia bits. The opening credits are a work of art. Animated stilettos, purses, and martinis in bold colors, set to upbeat music. It sets the tone perfectly, like a stylish warning that things aren't what they seem. Another cool detail, Blake Lively helped pick out some of the martini recipes in the film, since her character loves them so much. And Anna Kendrick actually learned real crafting skills for the vlog scenes. She made some of those DIY projects you see on screen. The movie's reception was a pleasant surprise. With a $20 million budget, it grossed $97.6 million worldwide, $53.5 million in the US and Canada, $44.1 million internationally. It opened strong at $16 million its first weekend, holding well against bigger releases. Critics gave it an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, praising the twists, the chemistry, and Feig's direction. Metacritic's 67 out of 100 shows solid approval, with outlets calling it a stylish mommy noir and a delicious black comedy. It even won Campy Flick of the Year at the Dorian Awards and got some golden trailer nods for its marketing. Not bad for a mid-budget thriller. What really made it stick in pop culture was the fashion influence. Blake Lively's Emily looks became meme fodder and inspired countless power mom outfits. The film's take on social media perfection, toxic friendships, and hidden lives felt timely in 2018, and it still does today. It's rewatchable because the foreshadowing is so clever. Once you know the story, you spot all the little clues in the outfits, the dialogue, the glances. Now, here's the exciting part for 2026, the sequel. Another Simple Favor dropped on Amazon Prime Video on May 1st, 2025 after premiering at SXSW on March 7th. Paul Feig returned to direct, breaking his own no-sequels rule because he loved the character so much. Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively are back as Stephanie and Emily, with Henry Golding, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and others reprising roles. It shifts to glamorous Capri, Italy, for a wedding full of murder, betrayal, and more outrageous twists. The tone amps up the absurdity and camp, with even wilder fashion and chemistry between the leads. Reviews are mixed. Some love the style and fun, others find the plot chaotic, but it holds around 54 on Metacritic, with praise for the visuals and the duo's dynamic. Paul Feig has even teased openness to a third film, thanks to that cliffhanger ending. Watching the original first is a must. It sets up everything perfectly. The sequel builds on the themes of secrets, ambition, and female power, but in a bigger, more international way. If you love the first one's mix of laughs and suspense, the sequel delivers more of that, plus stunning locations and jaw-dropping ensembles. We're not done yet with this fabulous world of A Simple Favor. Since my last chat, things have evolved even more in 2026, and the story behind these films just keeps getting richer. If you're new here or just circling back, remember, the original 2018 movie is this perfect blend of mystery, dark comedy, high fashion, and killer chemistry that still holds up amazingly well. But now, with the sequel, Another Simple Favor having dropped last year, the whole franchise feels like a glamorous roller coaster you can't stop riding. Let me catch you up on all the fresh details, the highs and lows of the follow-up, why it still makes the original a must-watch first, and why this duo of films deserves a spot in your queue right now. As always, no spoilers. I want you experiencing every martini-fueled twist yourself. So, quick refresh. The first film, directed by Paul Feig, hit theaters in September 2018 with that modest $20 million budget and pulled in nearly $98 million worldwide. It became this sleeper hit, loved for its sharp script by Jessica Sharzer, adapting Darcy Bell's novel, the stunning visuals, and especially the electric back and forth between Anna Kendrick's sweet but determined Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's enigmatic, ultra-stylish Emily Nelson. The movie's R rating comes from language, some sexual content, brief nudity, drug use, and violence, all handled with that signature Feig wit that keeps it fun even when things get dark. Fast forward to the sequel announcement in 2022. Amazon MGM Studios and Lionsgate greenlit it, with Feig returning to direct. He usually avoids sequels, but he couldn't resist these characters. Filming kicked off in late March 2024 in stunning locations like Capri, Italy, and the historic Villa Adriana, wrapping by May 26, 2024. The shift to Italy was genius. It amps up the glamour with breathtaking seaside views, narrow cobblestone streets, and over-the-top luxury that makes the first film's suburban chic feel like a warm-up. The screenplay came from Jessica Sharzer again, teaming up with Leda Kalogridis for an original story, not based on a new novel. It brings back Kendrick and Lively as Stephanie and Emily, along with Henry Golding as Sean, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and the kids Joshua Satine and Ian Ho. New faces include Michelle Morone as the rich Italian businessman Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins stepping in as Emily's mother, replacing Jean Smart from the first, Alex Newell, and more. The costumes? Even more outrageous. Think next-level designer gowns, bold accessories, and that same fashion-as-character storytelling, elevated by the Italian Riviera backdrop. The film had its world premiere as the opening night movie at SXSW on March 7, 2025, a huge honor for Feig, who launched hits like Bridesmaids there before. Then it streamed exclusively on Amazon Prime Video starting May 1, 2025. No theatrical run this time, straight to streaming, but it fit the moment perfectly for a glossy, bingeable thriller comedy. Now, reception-wise, Another Simple Favor is a bit more mixed than the original. It sits around a 54 on Metacritic from critics, with Rotten Tomatoes consensus calling it a perfect cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting with a dash of well-timed comedy. Though many reviews note it's sailing on the strength of the predecessor. Fans and critics rave about the visuals. Those Capri shots are jaw-dropping. The costumes, Blake Lively's wardrobe is once again iconic, and the crackling chemistry between Kendrick and Lively. Their banter still pops, and the film leans into more absurdity, camp, and over-the-top twists with nods to mafia vibes and destination wedding chaos. The humor lands in spots, especially the put-downs and awkward reunions, and the production design makes it feel like a luxurious escape. But not everyone was fully on board. Some called the plot convoluted, bloated with twists that feel chaotic rather than clever, and a bit forced in justifying the sequel. The pacing sags in places when the leads aren't sharing the screen, and a few reviewers felt it tried too hard to recapture the original's magic without quite nailing the balance of suspense and laughs. It's longer at about 2 hours, rated R again for violence, profanity, sexual content, and nudity. Overall, it's seen as entertaining but not as sharp or surprising as the first. More of a fun, flashy follow-up that's worth it for the style, locations, and star power. Paul Feig has been super open about it. He broke his no-sequels rule because he loved the characters, and he's even teased ideas for more, getting even weirder with potential third films. That cliffhanger ending? It leaves the door wide open, with hints of bigger international stakes. Fans are already speculating about where Stephanie and Emily could go next. Maybe something truly bananas. So, why does this make the original even more essential? Watching the first one sets up the dynamics, the secrets, and that addictive friendship rivalry vibe perfectly. The sequel builds on it, rewarding you for knowing the history while delivering fresh glamour and mayhem. Together they create this stylish, empowering universe about flawed women, hidden lives, ambition, and how far people go for control, all wrapped in laughs, suspense, and incredible outfits. If you're in the mood for a double feature night, start with A Simple Favor. It's on various platforms to rent or stream depending on your region. Then jump straight into Another Simple Favor on Prime Video. The fashion alone is worth it. Emily's looks evolved into full-on Italian glamour goals, and Stephanie's growth feels earned. Plus, the martinis? Still flowing. This franchise is proof that smart, female-driven thrillers with humor can thrive, even in sequels. It's rewatchable, discussable, and just plain fun. If you haven't dived in yet, do it now. Pour yourself a drink, dim the lights, and let Stephanie and Emily pull you into their world. You'll be quoting lines, admiring the style, and probably begging for more. Hey everyone, welcome back once more to this ongoing love letter to the A Simple Favor universe. It's January 18th, 2026 now, and with the sequel Another Simple Favor having been out for about 8 months on Prime Video, the conversation around these films is still buzzing. If you've been following my previous deep dives, you know how obsessed I am with the original 2018 gem. That perfect mix of suburban mystery, sharp humor, stunning fashion, and the unbreakable, or is it unbreakable, chemistry between Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively. But today, let's really dig into where things stand in 2026, update you on the sequel's real-world performance and reception now that time has passed, why the first film remains the stronger entry, and why this whole franchise, with its potential for even more, is worth your time right now. As your narrator and fellow movie fanatic, I'm here to hype it up without spoiling a single twist, so you can jump in fresh and enjoy every martini-soaked surprise. First, let's confirm the timeline for anyone catching up. The original A Simple Favor, directed by Paul Feig, hit theaters back in September 2018. It was a modest $20 million production that punched way above its weight, earning $97.6 million globally and earning an impressive 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. Fast forward to the sequel, officially titled Another Simple Favor, which premiered at SXSW on March 7, 2025 as the opening night film, then dropped exclusively on Amazon Prime Video on May 1, 2025. No theatrical run this time. It went straight to streaming in over 240 countries, which was a bold move for a follow-up to a theatrical hit. The sequel reunites the core team, Paul Feig directing again. He broke his own no-sequels rule because he loved these characters so much. Jessica Sharzer co-writing the script with Laeta Kalogridis for an original story, not based on a new Darcy Bell novel. Bell's only book in the series so far is the 2017 original, though the film adaptations have taken their own wild paths. Anna Kendrick returns as the now successful author and mommy vlogger Stephanie Smothers. Blake Lively is back as the ever-enigmatic Emily Nelson, and Henry Golding reprises Sean. The story shifts to glamorous Capri, Italy, for Emily's over-the-top wedding to a wealthy Italian businessman played by Michelle Morrone, with new additions like Elena Sofia Ricci, Alex Newell, Elizabeth Perkins, stepping in as Emily's mom, replacing Jean Smart from the first, and more, bringing fresh energy and chaos. Filming happened in spring 2024 in stunning spots like Capri and Villa Adriana, capturing that sun-drenched, luxurious Italian Riviera vibe that makes every frame feel like a high-end vacation postcard. The fashion? Even more elevated, Think bigger hats, bolder gowns, and outfits that scream destination wedding gone wrong in the best way. The production design, costumes, and cinematography build on the first film's glossy style, making it visually irresistible, even if the story takes some bigger swings. Now, reception in 2026. It's definitely more divided than the original. On Rotten Tomatoes, it settled around 60% from critics, based on about 149 reviews, with an average of 5.6 out of 10, and the consensus calls it the perfect cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting with a dash of well-timed comedy, sailing on the predecessor's strength. Metacritic landed at 54 out of 100 from 25 critics, indicating mixed or average vibes. Some praise the visuals, the lead's chemistry, Kendrick and Lively still crackle like fireworks, the campy absurdity, and the stunning locations. It's flashy, fun in bursts, and full of those signature put-downs and awkward moments. Critics who loved it called it a worthy, if more chaotic, extension. But others found the plot bloated, convoluted, and overly reliant on twists that don't always land as cleverly as the first time. The humor doesn't hit quite as consistently. The pacing drags in spots without the leads on screen together, and it feels like it's trying hard to justify the sequel without recapturing the original's tight, surprising balance of suspense and laughs. Audience scores have been even more split. Some popcorn meter numbers hovered around 40% early on, showing a divide between critics who appreciated the style and fans who wanted more of the first film's sharpness. Over time, though, it's gained a cult following for the sheer entertainment value, the fashion inspo, and the rewatchable banter. Despite the mixed bag, it performed well on streaming, topping Prime Video charts globally in its early weeks and staying popular, especially among fans of the original. No box office numbers since it was streaming only, but viewership suggests it connected with the audience that matters most, people who adore Kendrick and Lively's dynamic. Paul Feig has been vocal about loving these characters and being open to more. In interviews after the release, he teased that the ending sets up bigger possibilities, even weirder directions, taking Stephanie and Emily out into the world further. He said things like, "There's more fun stuff to be done," and while no third film is officially greenlit as of early 2026, the door is wide open. That mysterious cliffhanger note? Fans are still theorizing. Feig's even joked about titles like Yet Another Simple Favor, and with his busy schedule, he's attached to other projects. If it happens, it could be a while, maybe late 2026 or beyond. But the potential is there, and it's exciting. So, in 2026, why go back to the beginning? The original A Simple Favor is still the gold standard here. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. Watch it first. It's available to rent or buy on various platforms, often streaming on Netflix or Prime depending on your region. Then hit the sequel for the escalation. Together they form this addictive, empowering series about complicated female friendships, secrets, ambition, and how far people go when pushed. The themes of perfection versus reality, social media facades, and toxic but irresistible bonds feel even more relevant now. If you're into stylish thrillers like Knives Out meets White Lotus with a mommy noir twist, or just want to see two powerhouse actresses at their best, this is your sign. Pour that martini, cue up the first film, and let the favors begin. Simple, another, or whatever comes next. We're back for yet another round in this epic deep dive into the A Simple Favor franchise. It's January 18th, 2026, right here in the middle of the month, and with Another Simple Favor having been streaming on Prime Video for over 8 months now, the dust has settled a bit on its reception. If you've been tuning in to my previous chats, you know the original 2018 film is still my absolute favorite. That tight, twisty, stylish mystery comedy with Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively stealing every scene, all under Paul Feig's brilliant direction. But today, let's get real about where things stand in early 2026. The sequel's mixed legacy, why the first one holds up so strongly even now, the ongoing buzz about a potential third film, and why this whole series is still worth your time, whether you're a die-hard fan or just dipping your toes in. Quick recap for anyone new. The original A Simple Favor from 2018, based on Darcy Bell's novel, was a surprise hit. $20 million budget, nearly $98 million at the box office, an 84% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and solid audience love at around 73%. It blended mommy noir suspense with dark humor, killer fashion, and that addictive frenemy dynamic between Kendrick's perky Stephanie and Lively's mysterious Emily. Fast forward 7 years, and Another Simple Favor arrived on Prime Video on May 1, 2025, after premiering at SXSW on March 7th as the opening night film. No theaters this time, straight to streaming, which made sense for the era, but also meant it didn't get that big screen polish the first one had. The sequel reunites the Dream Team, Paul Feig directing, co-written by Jessica Sharzer and Laeta Kalogridis for a fresh original story. Kendrick and Lively are back in top form, with Henry Golding, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and the kids returning too. New additions like Michelle Morone as the Italian businessman Dante, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, taking over as Emily's mom, Alex Newell, and others bring fresh chaos to the mix. The setting? Gorgeous Capri, Italy. Think sun-soaked villas, dramatic cliffs, and a lavish wedding that spirals into murder, deception, and mafia-tinged absurdity. The visuals are stunning. Even bigger, bolder costumes. Those gowns and hats are next-level fashion goals, jaw-dropping locations, and that same glossy aesthetic cranked up to 11. But here's the honest update in 2026. Reception has been pretty divided. On Rotten Tomatoes, it ended up with a tomato meter around 58 to 60% from about 151 critics, earning an average rating of 5.6 out of 10. And the audience popcorn meter sits lower at around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Metacritic landed at 54 out of 100, calling it mixed or average. The consensus is that it sails on the strength of the original, delivering a cocktail of mystery, intrigue, sharp casting, and timed comedy. But many feel it doesn't quite recapture the magic. Praise often goes to the visuals. Those Capri shots are breathtaking. The lead's chemistry, Kendrick and Lively still have that electric banter, the campy over-the-top energy, and fun escapism in bursts. Critics and fans who enjoyed it loved the escalation, the fashion, and the wild twists. On the flip side, a lot of criticism focuses on the plot feeling convoluted and bloated, with twists that come across as chaotic or forced rather than clever. Some say the humor doesn't land consistently, the pacing sags when the main duo isn't dominating the screen, and it leans too hard into absurdity without the sharp suspense or stakes of the first film. Audience reactions have been harsher. Many call it a disappointing follow-up, nonsensical in places, or just not adding value to the original. It's not universally panned, and it gained a niche following for the style and star power, plus it topped Prime Video charts globally in its early weeks and stayed popular among streaming viewers. But compared to the first film's near-universal acclaim, it's a step down for many. Despite that, Paul Feig has been super positive about the characters and the world. He's repeatedly said he's open, very open, to a third film. In interviews after the release, he teased having very good ideas for where it could go next, even getting even weirder and staying international. The sequel's ending leaves a clear setup. That mysterious envelope and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law hint at bigger stakes, possibly pulling our duo into more mafia-fueled chaos or global adventures. Feig has no hard rule against three quells. This was his first sequel ever, after avoiding them for years. And co-writer Laeta Kalogridis has expressed wanting to spend more time with these characters and actors. As of January 2026, nothing is officially greenlit. No announcements, no production dates, but if viewership holds and demand grows, it could happen sometime in late 2026 or 2027. Timing matters, as Feig noted. Too soon feels rushed, too long risks fading interest. So why does this make the original even more essential viewing in 2026? Because A Simple Favor, 2018, is still the tighter, funnier, more surprising entry, the one that nails the balance perfectly. Watch it first. It's widely available to stream, rent, or buy. Then hit the sequel for the escalation and glamour. Together they give you this wild, empowering ride through female friendships, secrets, ambition, and how messy life gets when facades crack. The themes feel timeless, the fashion inspires, and the laughs, especially in the first, are sharp. If you're craving stylish thrillers with strong women leading the charge, think Gone Girl vibes, but with more humor and glamour. Start here. Pour that martini, cue up the original, then decide if you want the next level of chaos. The franchise might not be perfect, but it's addictive, rewatchable, and full of potential. Thanks for coming back for even more on the A Simple Favor saga. We're deep in this now, and as of January 18th, 2026, right around lunchtime in your part of the world, the story keeps evolving in fascinating ways. If you've been following along, you know the original 2018 film is this absolute standout. Paul Feig's stylish, suspenseful, laugh-out-loud thriller with Anna Kendrick as the relatable Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively as the glamorous, unpredictable Emily Nelson. That $20 million budget turned into nearly $98 million worldwide, an 84% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, and a solid 73% audience popcorn meter. It's the kind of movie that feels fresh every rewatch. Sharp script, killer fashion, electric chemistry, and twists that hit just right without ever feeling mean-spirited. Now, fast forward to the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which landed on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025 after its SXSW premiere in March. It took our duo to the stunning island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a wealthy Italian businessman, played by Michelle Morone, with plenty of murder, betrayal, mafia hints, and over-the-top glamour. Paul Feig directed again, breaking his own no-sequels rule, with Jessica Sharzer and Leda Kalogridis on the script for a fresh original tale. The returning cast, Kendrick, Lively, Henry Golding as Sean, and the supporting players brought back that familiar spark, while new faces like Elena Sophia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, and Alex Newell added fresh chaos and energy. The visuals? Next level stunning. Those sun-drenched Italian locations, the dramatic cliffs, the luxurious villas, it all looks like a high-fashion vacation brochure come to life. The costumes ramped up even further. Bolder gowns, statement hats, accessories that scream luxury and intrigue. The production captured that same glossy, colorful aesthetic from the first film, but on a bigger, more international scale, making every frame pop. Reception in early 2026 has settled into a pretty clear picture. Critics gave it a certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with scores hovering in the 70 to 78% range across various reports, starting around 73 to 77% at premiere and climbing a bit with more reviews, landing solidly positive at about 70% with 80-plus critics. Many praised the stylish visuals, the breathtaking locations, the campy absurdity, the well-timed comedy, and especially the unbreakable chemistry between Kendrick and Lively. Their banter still crackles, and the film delivers fun bursts of intrigue and fashion inspo. Metacritic landed around the mid-50s, indicating mixed to average overall, but the consensus highlights it as a solid cocktail of mystery and sharp casting that builds on the original. Fans who loved the escalation, the wilder twists, and the destination wedding vibe often call it entertaining escapism. That said, audiences have been more divided. The popcorn meter has trended lower, around the 38 to 40% mark from viewers, with some feeling the plot gets convoluted, the twists chaotic rather than clever, the pacing uneven when the leads aren't center stage, and the humor not landing as consistently sharp as the first time. Many say it doesn't quite match the original's tight balance of suspense, laughs, and surprises, calling it flashy but sometimes hollow or forced. It's not a total miss. It topped Prime Video charts globally in its early weeks and held strong viewership, proving it connected with streaming crowds. But it's definitely a step down in consistency for a lot of people compared to the 2018 film's near-universal appeal. Paul Feig has been refreshingly open about the future. He loves these characters and has repeatedly said he's very open to a third film, even joking about having no rule against three quells. He's teased having a very good idea of where the story could go next, especially after that mysterious cliffhanger ending involving a note and bigger stakes. Think potential mafia family business takeover and more outlandish adventures. Feig wants to take Stephanie and Emily out into the world even more, with room for their tentative friendship to evolve in wild directions. No official green light yet as of January 2026. No announcements, no dates. But he's hinted that timing is key. Not too soon, not too long. And if demand stays high, it could arrive late 2026, early 2027, or beyond. The ending sets it up perfectly for escalation, and Feig's enthusiasm keeps hope alive. So where does that leave us in 2026? The original A Simple Favor remains the crown jewel. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. It's the one that nails everything. The suburban secrets, the social media perfection satire, the empowering female dynamics, and those martini moments. If you haven't seen it, or it's been a while, stream it first. It's widely available on platforms to rent, buy, or sometimes stream. Then, if you're craving more glamour and chaos, dive into Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the Italian upgrade. Together, they create this addictive, stylish universe about flawed women, hidden truths, ambition, and messy friendships that feels relevant and rewatchable. Whether the series ends here or gets that third chapter, fingers crossed for even weirder, more global fun, it's a reminder that smart, female-led thrillers with humor can be hugely entertaining. Pour yourself a drink, hit play on the first one, and let Stephanie and Emily pull you in. Simple Favors have a way of turning into something unforgettable. We're keeping the A Simple Favor train rolling right into this sunny afternoon on January 18th, 2026. If you've been with me through the previous deep dives, you know how much I champion the original 2018 film as this stylish, twisty masterpiece. Paul Feig's perfect blend of dark comedy, mommy noir suspense, killer fashion, and that unforgettable frenemy spark between Anna Kendrick's earnest Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's enigmatic Emily Nelson. With a $20 million budget, it earned nearly $98 million worldwide, snagged an 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and a solid 73% audience popcorn meter. It's the kind of movie that rewards rewatches, spotting those clever clues, admiring the outfits, and laughing at the awkward moments all over again. Now, let's update you on the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which hit Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after opening the SXSW Festival on March 7th. It takes our duo to the breathtaking island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's lavish wedding to a rich Italian businessman, Michele Morrone, where things spiral into more murder, deception, mafia undertones, and campy chaos. Paul Feig returned to direct, with Jessica Scharzer and Leda Kalogridis crafting an original script that amps up the absurdity while reuniting the core cast. Kendrick, Lively, Henry Golding as Sean, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and the kids, and adding fresh faces like Elena Sophia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, Alex Newell, and more. The production is visually stunning. Those dramatic cliffs, sun-kissed villas, and over-the-top Italian Riviera glamour make every scene feel like a luxury escape. The fashion evolves into something even bolder: extravagant gowns, statement accessories, and outfits that scream high-stakes destination wedding gone wildly wrong. It's bigger, flashier, and full of those signature Feig touches, dynamic camera work, vibrant colors, and a soundtrack that mixes suspense with playful energy. As of early 2026, the reception has solidified into a tale of two audiences. Critics have been fairly positive overall. The film earned certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with scores settling in the 70% range, starting around 73 to 77% at premiere, climbing to about 78% with more reviews, and hovering around 70% with 80-plus critics. Many highlight the gorgeous visuals, the crackling chemistry between Kendrick and Lively. Their banter is still electric, the campy fun, the well-timed comedy, and the stylish escalation that builds on the original. It's seen as a solid, entertaining cocktail of mystery and intrigue, especially for fans who love the leads and the glamour. Metacritic sits in the mid-50s, reflecting a more mixed but average vibe, while audience scores on the popcorn meter have been lower, around the 38 to 40% mark from viewers. A lot of folks feel the plot gets convoluted and bloated with twists that feel chaotic or forced instead of sharp. The pacing drags in spots without the main duo dominating, and the humor doesn't hit as consistently or cleverly as the first time. Some call it flashy but over the top in a way that sacrifices the original's tight suspense and stakes for absurdity. It topped Prime Video global charts in its early weeks and held strong viewership, proving it resonated with streaming fans, but it's not the near-universal hit the 2018 film was, more of a divisive follow-up that shines brightest for those craving more of the same world. Paul Feig has been enthusiastic about the potential future. He's broken his own no sequels rule once and has no hard rule against a threequel. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a third film, teasing that he has a very good idea of where it could go next. The sequel's ending with that mysterious note and simple favor setup involving bigger family stakes, hints at mafia business and new complications, leaves the door wide open for more international, even weirder adventures. Feig wants to explore the evolving, tentative friendship between Stephanie and Emily further, taking them out into the world even more. No official green light as of January 2026. No announcements, no production dates. But he's hatching ideas and hopes to avoid another 7-year wait if viewership and demand stay strong. It could happen in late 2026, 2027, or whenever the stars align. In the end, for 2026, the original A Simple Favor is still the standout. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. It's the one that nails the suburban secrets, social media satire, female empowerment, and martini-fueled twists without overreaching. Stream it first. It's often on Netflix, Prime, or available to rent/buy. Then jump to Another Simple Favor on Prime Video if you want the glamorous, chaotic upgrade. Together, they offer this addictive, stylish ride through messy friendships, hidden lives, ambition, and how small favors can snowball into epic drama. Whether we get a third chapter or not, this franchise is worth celebrating for its strong women, sharp wit, and visual flair. If you're in the mood for a smart thriller with laughs and looks, start with the 2018 original. You won't regret it. We're still rolling with this ultimate A Simple Favor franchise breakdown on this beautiful January 18th, 2026 afternoon in Satna. If you've been here from the start, you know the drill. The 2018 original is this flawless, stylish thrill ride directed by Feig, starring Kendrick as the quirky, vlog-obsessed Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively as the magnetic, secretive Emily Nelson. That $20 million gem pulled in nearly $98 million worldwide, earned an 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh, and a strong 73% audience popcorn meter. It's the movie that perfectly mixes dark humor, suspense, fashion-forward glamour, and those jaw-dropping twists that keep you hooked without ever feeling cheap. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, dropped on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after premiering at SXSW on March 7th as the opening night film. It reunites the whole team, Feig directing, Kendrick and Lively leading, Henry Golding back as Sean, plus the supporting cast returning and new additions like Michelle Morrone as the wealthy Italian Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, Alex Newell, and others adding fresh layers of intrigue. The story shifts to the stunning island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding, where old secrets resurface amid murder, betrayal, mafia hints, and over-the-top camp. Visually, it's a feast. Those breathtaking cliffs, luxurious villas, dramatic sunsets, and even bolder, more outrageous costumes. Think massive hats, designer gowns that steal scenes, and accessories that scream high society chaos. The production captures that same vibrant, glossy style from the first film, but scales it up with international flair, making it feel like a glamorous escape with a dark edge. As of January 2026, the reception has settled into a classic critics versus audiences split. Critics have been largely positive. The film earned certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomato meter holding steady in the 70 to 80% range. Reports from around release showed it climbing from early 73 to 77% to about 80% with more reviews, and settling around 70 to 78% from 80-plus critics. Many rave about the stunning visuals, the electric chemistry between Kendrick and Lively. Their banter is still fire. The campy absurdity, the well-timed laughs, and how it delivers a fun, ridiculous escalation that defies expectations in spots. It's called a solid cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting that builds on the original's strengths. Metacritic sits in the mid-50s, reflecting more mixed but average feedback, while the audience popcorn meter has been lower, around the 38 to 40% mark from viewers. A chunk of fans feel the plot gets too convoluted and bloated, with twists that come off chaotic or forced instead of clever, the pacing uneven, especially when the leads aren't sharing the screen, and the humor not landing as sharply or consistently as in 2018. Some say it's flashy but over the top in a way that loses the original's tight suspense and stakes, feeling like it tries too hard to justify the sequel. It topped Prime Video global charts in its early weeks and maintained strong viewership, showing it connected with streaming audiences, but it's more divisive overall, not the near-universal hit the first one was. Feig has been super candid and excited about the future. This was his first sequel ever. He's avoided them for years, but he loved these characters enough to dive back in. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a third film, even joking he has no rule against 3 quells. He has a very good idea of where the story could go next, especially after that cliffhanger ending with the mysterious note and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law, hinting at bigger, potentially mafia-related stakes and more outlandish adventures. Feig wants to take Stephanie and Emily out into the world even more, exploring their tentative, evolving friendship in weirder, wilder directions. No official green light yet in January 2026. No announcements, no dates, but he's hatching ideas and hopes to move faster than the 7-year gap between the first two if demand holds. Timing is key. Not too rushed, not too delayed. Bottom line for 2026. The original A Simple Favor is still the shining star. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. It's the one that nails the suburban secrets, social media satire, female empowerment, and martini moments without overdoing it. If you haven't revisited it lately, stream it first. It's often on Netflix or available to rent/buy. Then head to Prime Video for Another Simple Favor, if you want the glamorous, chaotic follow-up. Together, they create this addictive, stylish universe full of flawed women, hidden truths, ambition, and how one small favor can snowball into epic drama. Whether we get that third chapter, fingers crossed for even bigger twists and global mayhem, or the series stays at 2, it's worth celebrating for the strong performances, visual flair, and empowering vibes. Pour yourself a dry martini, no ice, cue up the original, and dive in. These favors are too fun to miss. We're still deep in the A Simple Favor world on this lovely January 18th, 2026 afternoon in Satna. If you've been following these chats, you know the 2018 original directed by Paul Feig is pure gold. That sharp, stylish mystery comedy with Anna Kendrick's charming Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's captivating Emily Nelson driving the whole thing. With a $20 million budget, it raked in nearly $98 million globally, scored a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, based on 259 reviews, and a solid 72% audience popcorn meter from thousands of ratings. It's the film that masterfully balances dark humor, suspense, glamorous fashion, social media satire, and those mind-bending twists that make you want to hit replay immediately. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, streamed on Prime Video, starting May 1st, 2025, after its SXSW premiere on March 7th as the opening night movie. It brings back the core team, Feig directing, Kendrick and Lively leading with that electric frenemy chemistry, Henry Golding as Sean, and the supporting cast, while introducing new players like Michelle Morrone as the Italian businessman Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, Alex Newell, and more for added layers of intrigue and chaos. The action moves to the stunning island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's lavish post-prison wedding, where secrets, murder, betrayal, and mafia-flavored absurdity take center stage. The production is a visual feast, breathtaking cliffs, luxurious villas, dramatic sunsets, and fashion that's even more extravagant. Massive statement hats, jaw-dropping designer gowns, and accessories that perfectly amplify the campy, high-stakes vibe. It keeps the original's glossy, colorful aesthetic, but cranks it up with international glamour and over-the-top energy. By early 2026, the reception has locked in as a clear divide between critics and audiences. Critics have been mostly positive. The film holds a certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes with a tomato meter around 70%. It started in the 73 to 77% range at premiere, climbed to about 80% with more reviews, and settled in the 70 to 78% range from over 80 critics, with some reports noting 58% in later aggregates, but overall leaning fresh. Many praise the stunning visuals, the crackling Kendrick-Lively dynamic, their banter remains fire, the campy fun, well-timed comedy, and how it delivers an entertaining, ridiculous escalation that builds on the original's strengths, a solid cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting. Metacritic hovers in the mid-50s for a more mixed average, while the audience popcorn meter has been notably lower, sitting around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early days saw it dip to 40 to 43%, and it hasn't climbed much since. A significant portion of viewers feel the plot gets bloated and convoluted, with twists that land as chaotic or forced rather than clever, pacing that sags without the leads dominating every scene, and humor that's inconsistent compared to the first film's sharpness. Many say it's flashy and over-the-top, but sacrifices the original's tight suspense, stakes, and balance for absurdity, making it more divisive. A fun watch for some, but a letdown for others who wanted more of the 2018 magic. It topped Prime Video global charts early on and held strong viewership, proving it connected with streaming fans, but it's not the broad hit the original was. Paul Feig has been refreshingly enthusiastic about the franchise's future. This was his first sequel ever. He's long avoided them, but he loved the characters enough to return. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a third film. Even joking, he has no rule against threequels. He has a very good idea of where the story could head next, especially after the sequel's cliffhanger with that mysterious note and simple favor setup hinting at bigger, potentially mafia-tied stakes and more global mayhem. Feig wants to explore Stephanie and Emily's tentative, evolving friendship further, taking them out into the world even more, in weirder, wilder directions. No official greenlight as of January 2026. No announcements, no production dates, but he's actively hatching ideas and hopes to avoid another long gap if viewership and demand stay strong. Timing matters. Not too rushed, not too delayed. So, in 2026, the original A Simple Favor stands tall as the superior entry. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. It's the one that nails everything. Suburban secrets, social media perfectionism, female empowerment, and those martini moments. If it's been a while, or you've never seen it, stream it first. It's widely available to rent, buy, or sometimes on platforms like Hulu or Netflix depending on your region. Then, if you're up for the glamorous chaos, hit Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the Italian upgrade. Together, they form this addictive, stylish universe full of flawed women, hidden truths, ambition, and how one small favor can explode into epic drama. Whether we get that third installment, fingers crossed for bigger twists and even more fun, or it stays a duology, the franchise is worth your time for the powerhouse performances, visual flair, and empowering energy. Pour a dry martini, shaken, not stirred, cue up the original, and let Stephanie and Emily pull you back in. These favors are too stylish to skip. We're keeping the momentum going with this deep dive into the A Simple Favor franchise. It's January 18th, 2026, right around 1 p.m. in Satna, and the conversation about these stylish mysteries is still as lively as ever. If you've been joining me along the way, you know the 2018 original is a true standout. Paul Feig's razor-sharp blend of dark comedy, suspense, high fashion, and that irresistible frenemy energy between Anna Kendrick's relatable Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's enigmatic Emily Nelson. Made on a $20 million budget, it grossed nearly $98 million worldwide, earned a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes based on hundreds of reviews, and a strong 72% audience popcorn meter. It's the kind of film that feels fresh every time. Clever twists, biting satire on social media perfection, empowering female dynamics, and those iconic martini moments that make it endlessly rewatchable. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, hit Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after premiering as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7, 2025. It reunites the powerhouse team. Feig back in the director's chair, breaking his long-standing no-sequels rule because he couldn't resist these characters. Kendrick and Lively delivering that crackling chemistry, Henry Golding returning as Sean, and the supporting crew like Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin joining in. New additions, Michelle Morone as the wealthy Italian Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins stepping in as Emily's mom, Alex Newell, and others bring fresh chaos to the mix. The story takes our duo to the breathtaking island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a rich businessman, where old secrets, murder, betrayal, and mafia-tinged absurdity unfold in glorious fashion. The visuals are stunning: dramatic cliffs, sun-drenched villas, narrow cobblestone streets, and fashion that's next-level extravagant. Think massive statement hats, jaw-dropping gowns, and outfits that amplify the campy, high-society intrigue. It keeps the original's glossy, vibrant aesthetic, but scales it up with international glamour, making it a feast for the eyes even when the story gets wild. Now, with some time passed since its May 2025 release, the reception has settled into a noticeable divide. Critics have been largely positive. The film earned certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomato meter holding in the 70% range overall. It debuted around 73 to 78% after SXSW, climbed with early reviews, and stabilized around 70 to 75% from dozens of critics. Many outlets praise the gorgeous visuals, the electric Kendrick lively banter, still pure fire, the campy over-the-top energy, well-timed comedy, and how it delivers an entertaining escalation as a perfect cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting. Metacritic gives it a 54 out of 100 from about 25 critics, indicating mixed to average overall, but the positive takes highlight the style, locations, and leads as standout elements. On the audience side, though, it's been more divided. The popcorn meter sits around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early days saw it dip to the low 40s, and it hasn't climbed much. A lot of viewers feel the plot gets bloated and convoluted, with twists that come across as chaotic or forced instead of clever, pacing that drags in spots without the main duo front and center, and humor that's inconsistent compared to the first film's sharpness. Some call it flashy, but ultimately disappointing, prioritizing absurdity over the original's tight suspense and stakes. It topped Prime Video global charts in its first weeks and held solid viewership, showing it connected with streaming fans who love the glamour and stars, but it's more polarizing than the near-universal hit the 2018 film was. Paul Feig has been super open and excited about the future of the series. He has a very good idea of where a third film could go, teasing even weirder, more outlandish directions after the sequel's cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor setup hinting at bigger mafia family stakes and new complications. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a threequel, no rule against it, and he'd love to explore Stephanie and Emily's tentative friendship further, taking them out into the world even more. No official green light as of January 2026, no announcements, no production dates, but if demand stays strong and viewership holds, it could happen sometime in late 2026, 2027, or beyond. Timing is key for him. Not too soon to feel rushed, not too long to lose momentum. So, in 2026, the original A Simple Favor remains the crown jewel. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. It's the one that nails the suburban secrets, female empowerment, and those martini-fueled twists without overreaching. If you haven't watched it recently, or ever, stream it first. It's widely available to rent, buy, or sometimes on platforms depending on your region. Then, if you're craving more glamour and chaos, dive into Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the Italian upgrade. Together, they offer this addictive, stylish universe full of flawed women, hidden lives, ambition, and how one small favor can spiral into epic drama. Whether we get that third chapter, fingers crossed for bigger twists, wilder fashion, and global mayhem, or it stays a duology. This franchise is worth celebrating for the powerhouse performances, visual flair, and empowering vibes. Pour yourself a dry martini, cue up the original, and let Stephanie and Emily draw you back in. These favors are too fun to pass up. We're still deep in this fabulous A Simple Favor rabbit hole on this sunny January 18, 2026 afternoon around 1 p.m. in Satna. If you've been riding along with these updates, you know the original 2018 film directed by Paul Feig is an absolute classic. That sleek, twisty mix of dark comedy, suspense, high-end fashion, and the magnetic push-pull between Anna Kendrick's sweet but savvy Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's bold, mysterious Emily Nelson. Shot on a modest $20 million budget, it delivered nearly $98 million at the worldwide box office, a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes from hundreds of reviews, and a strong 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter. It's the movie that gets everything right. Sharp satire on mommy vlogger perfection, empowering female leads, laugh-out-loud moments, and those martini-drenched surprises that make it perfect for repeat viewings. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, arrived on Prime Video on May 1, 2025, after opening the SXSW Festival on March 7th as the opening night selection. Paul Feig returned to Helmet, finally breaking his long no sequels rule because these characters were too irresistible, with Kendrick and Lively reprising their iconic roles and delivering that same electric frenemy chemistry. Henry Golding is back as Sean, along with familiar faces like Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin, while newcomers such as Michelle Morrone as the rich Italian Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins, Alex Newell, and others inject fresh drama and chaos. The plot whisks everyone off to the gorgeous island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding, where buried secrets, a murder, betrayal, and mafia-inspired absurdity take over. The production is a visual stunner. Dramatic cliffs, luxurious villas, golden sunsets, and fashion that's dialed up to maximum glamour. Think oversized statement hats, breathtaking gowns, and outfits that feel like characters themselves. It retains the original's vibrant, glossy look, but goes bigger and more international, turning every frame into a stylish escape with a wicked edge. As we sit here in early 2026, the reception has crystallized into a classic critics versus audiences split. Critics have been fairly supportive overall. The film earned certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomatometer settling in the 58 to 70% range. It started strong around 73 to 80% after SXSW and early reviews with 50 to 80 critics, but stabilized lower around 58% from 151 reviews in some aggregates, with many praising the stunning visuals, the Kendrick lively spark, campy fun, well-timed comedy, and entertaining escalation as a solid follow-up cocktail of mystery and intrigue. Metacritic lands in the mid-50s for a mixed to average feel. Audience scores, though, tell a different story. The popcorn meter hovers around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. It dipped to the low 40s early on and hasn't recovered much. A lot of viewers criticize the plot as bloated and convoluted, with twists that feel chaotic or forced rather than clever, uneven pacing, especially outside the leads' scenes, and humor that's inconsistent compared to the first film's precision. Many say it's flashy and over the top, but loses the original's tight suspense, stakes, and balance, making it more polarizing. A fun, ridiculous watch for some fans of the glamour and stars, but a disappointing step down for others. It topped Prime Video's global charts in its launch weeks and maintained solid viewership, proving it hooked streaming audiences. But it's not the broad crowd pleaser the 2018 film was. Paul Feig has been incredibly positive and candid about the franchise's potential. He has a very good idea of where a third film could go. Even weirder, more outlandish adventures after the sequel's cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law hinting at escalating mafia family drama and new complications. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a threequel, joking he has no rule against threequels, despite his usual aversion to sequels. He'd love to explore Stephanie and Emily's tentative, evolving friendship further, taking them out into the world even more, in bigger international ways. No official greenlight as of January 2026, no announcements, no dates, but if streaming performance holds and demand grows, it could happen sometime in late 2026, 2027, or beyond. Timing is important to him. Not too rushed, not too delayed. In 2026, the original A Simple Favor still reigns supreme, though tighter, funnier, more surprising, and flawlessly balanced. It's the one that perfectly captures suburban secrets, female power, social media facades, and those martini moments. If it's been a minute or you've never seen it, stream it first. It's often available to rent, buy, or on platforms like Hulu or Netflix in different regions. Then, if you're in the mood for glamorous escalation and chaos, jump to Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the Italian twist. Together they build this addictive, stylish universe of flawed women, hidden truths, ambition, and how one small favor can turn into something massive. Thanks for staying with me through this marathon love fest for the A Simple Favor franchise. It's still that perfect January 18th, 2026 afternoon around 1 p.m. in Satna. And honestly, I could talk about these movies all day because they just keep delivering in the most stylish, twisty ways. If you're new to the thread or just jumping back in, let's recap real quick. The 2018 original, directed by Paul Feig, is this brilliant, under-the-radar hit that turned a $20 million budget into nearly $98 million worldwide, snagging a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and a solid 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter. Anna Kendrick shines as the perky, widowed mommy vlogger Stephanie Smothers, while Blake Lively absolutely owns the screen as the glamorous, secretive Emily Nelson. Their chemistry is electric. The fashion is to die for, the humor is sharp and dark, and those suspenseful twists keep you glued without ever feeling manipulative. It's the ultimate blend of Gone Girl-style intrigue with Bridesmaids-level wit, all wrapped in a glossy, empowering package that satirizes social media perfection and suburban facades like nothing else. Then came the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which finally arrived on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after its buzzy premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7th. Feig returned to direct, his first sequel ever, after swearing them off for years because he loved these characters too much to resist, reuniting Kendrick and Lively in their iconic roles, bringing back Henry Golding as Sean, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and the kids while adding fresh faces like Michelle Morrone as the suave Italian businessman Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins stepping in as Emily's mom, Alex Newell, and others to crank up the chaos. The story catapults our duo from quiet Connecticut suburbs to the jaw-dropping island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's over-the-top wedding to a wealthy Italian, where buried secrets explode into murder, betrayal, stolen identities, mafia hints, and pure campy absurdity. It's bigger, bolder, and more outrageous than the first, trading subtle tension for full-on glamorous mayhem. Visually, it's an absolute treat. Those iconic Capri cliffs, luxurious villas overlooking the sea, golden sunsets, narrow winding streets, and fashion that's escalated to god-tier levels. Massive statement hats, extravagant designer gowns that practically have their own storylines, bold accessories, and outfits that scream high society intrigue and power. The production keeps the original's vibrant, colorful cinematography, but blows it up with international flair, making every scene feel like a high-end fashion editorial crossed with a twisted destination wedding thriller. The soundtrack mixes suspenseful scores with playful tracks, and the banter between Kendrick and Lively? Still pure fireworks, their frenemy dynamic evolves into something even more tentative and charged, full of put-downs, awkward reunions, and that irresistible push-pull that made the first film so addictive. By January 2026, the sequel's reception has really settled. Critics have been mostly on board, giving it certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomatometer holding steady in the 70% range. It started strong around 73 to 80% after SXSW and early reviews from dozens of critics climbed a bit and stabilized around 70 to 75% from over 80 reviews in various aggregates, with some reports noting dips to 58 to 70% depending on the count. Many reviews celebrate the stunning visuals, breathtaking locations, the unbreakable Kendrick Lively spark, campy over-the-top energy, well-timed comedy bursts, and how it serves as a fun, ridiculous escalation, a solid cocktail of mystery, intrigue, sharp casting, and stylish chaos that builds on the original without trying to copy it exactly. Metacritic sits in the mid-50s for a more mixed average vibe, but the positive critic takes focus on the glamour, performances, and entertaining absurdity. Audience reactions, though, remain pretty divided. The popcorn meter has hovered around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. It dipped to the low 40s early on after release and hasn't climbed much since. A good chunk of viewers point to the plot feeling bloated and convoluted at times, with twists that land as chaotic or forced instead of the clever, surprising ones from the first film, uneven pacing, especially in scenes without the leads dominating, and humor that's hit or miss compared to the original's precision. Many say it's flashy and fun in bursts, but sacrifices the tight suspense, real stakes, and balanced tone of 2018 for more absurdity, making it more of a niche, love it or hate it follow-up. That said, it topped Prime Video's global charts in its launch weeks, held strong viewership numbers, and found its crowd among streaming fans who adore the stars, fashion, and wild energy. It's just not the broad, near-universal crowd pleaser the original became. Paul Feig has been refreshingly enthusiastic about the whole thing in interviews. He has a very good idea of where a third film could go. Even weirder, more outlandish adventures after the sequel's cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law, Portia Versano, hinting at escalating mafia family business, new complications, and bigger international stakes. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a threequel, joking he has no rule against threequels, despite his usual aversion to sequels. This was his first. He'd love to explore Stephanie and Emily's tentative, evolving friendship further, taking them out into the world even more in wilder global directions. As of January 2026, nothing is officially greenlit. No announcements, no production dates, no confirmed timeline. But if streaming performance stays solid and demand builds, it could materialize sometime in late 2026, 2027, or whenever the timing feels right. He wants to avoid rushing it or letting too much time pass. The door is wide open, and Feig's passion for these characters keeps the hope alive. All that said, in 2026, the original A Simple Favor still stands as the undisputed champion. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced from start to finish. It's the one that masterfully nails the suburban secrets, social media satire, female empowerment themes, and those martini-fueled twists without ever overreaching. If you haven't rewatched it lately, or if it's your first time, stream it first. It's widely available to rent, buy, or sometimes on platforms like Netflix or Hulu depending on your region. Then, if you're craving that glamorous escalation and chaotic fun, dive straight into Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the Italian upgrade. Together, they create this addictive, stylish universe full of flawed, fascinating women, hidden truths, ambition, and how one seemingly small favor can snowball into something massive and unforgettable. Whether we get that third chapter, fingers crossed for even bigger twists, wilder fashion, more global mayhem, and perhaps some truly bananas international settings, or the series caps at 2 films, this franchise is a joy for anyone who loves smart thrillers with heart, humor, and incredible style. Pour yourself a dry martini, shaken, not stirred, of course. Dim the lights, cue up the original, and let Stephanie and Emily pull you right back into their world. Trust me, these favors are too delicious to miss. And thanks for sticking around. We're still cruising through this epic A Simple Favor obsession on this gorgeous January 18th, 2026 afternoon, right around 1 p.m. in Satna. If you've been here for the ride, you know how much I adore the 2018 original directed by Paul Feig. That sleek, twisty masterpiece with Anna Kendrick's endlessly relatable Stephanie Smothers and Blake Lively's magnetic, larger-than-life Emily Nelson at its heart. Made on a tight $20 million budget, it exploded to nearly $98 million worldwide, locked in a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, from hundreds of glowing reviews, and earned a strong 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter score. It's the film that gets the balance just right. Dark, witty humor mixed with genuine suspense, jaw-dropping fashion that feels like an extension of the characters. Sharp commentary on social media perfection and suburban secrets, and those martini-soaked twists that keep you guessing and grinning the whole way through. Kendrick's wide-eyed vulnerability paired with Lively's cool, commanding presence creates pure magic, and the whole thing feels empowering, fun, and surprisingly smart. Then there's the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which finally landed on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after its high-energy premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7th, 2025. Paul Feig stepped back into the director's chair, his very first sequel after years of swearing them off, because these characters were too irresistible to leave alone. He reunites Kendrick and Lively in their signature roles, brings back Henry Golding as Sean, Andrew Rannells, Bashir Salahuddin, and the adorable kids, and introduces a fresh wave of talent like Michelle Morrone as the charming Italian businessman Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins taking over as Emily's mom, Alex Newell, and more to ramp up the drama. The story shifts gears dramatically, whisking Stephanie and Emily to the stunning island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding to a wealthy Italian, where old wounds reopen, new bodies drop, betrayals pile up, mafia undertones creep in, and everything spirals into glorious, campy chaos. It's a bigger, bolder swing than the first film, trading quiet suburban tension for full-blown international glamour and absurdity. Visually, it's an absolute knockout. Those iconic Capri cliffs dropping into turquoise waters, luxurious villas perched on hillsides, golden sunsets over the sea, winding cobblestone streets, and fashion that's elevated to next-level extravagance. Oversized statement hats, breathtaking designer gowns with dramatic silhouettes, bold accessories that steal scenes, and outfits that feel like weapons in this world of secrets and power plays. The cinematography keeps the original's vibrant, colorful style but amplifies it with breathtaking locations and dynamic shots that make every frame feel like a high-fashion spread crossed with a twisted thriller. The soundtrack layers suspenseful cues with playful, upbeat tracks, and the banter between Kendrick and Lively, still crackling with that perfect mix of affection, sarcasm, and underlying tension. Their frenemy relationship evolves in ways that feel earned, tentative, and endlessly entertaining. As of January 2026, with the sequel out for about 8 months, the reception has really settled in. Critics have been fairly positive overall, giving it certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomatometer holding in the 70% range. It launched strong around 73 to 80% after SXSW and early reviews, peaked higher with more critics weighing in, and stabilized around 70 to 75% from dozens of reviews, though some aggregates show slight variations like 58 to 70%, depending on the count. Reviewers often highlight the gorgeous visuals, breathtaking Capri locations, the unbreakable Kendrick lively chemistry. Their banter is still electric and addictive, the campy, over-the-top energy, well-timed comedy moments, and how it delivers a fun, ridiculous escalation. A solid, stylish cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting that builds on the original's foundation without copying it beat for beat. Metacritic sits in the mid-50s for a more mixed-to-average feel, but the critic praise centers on the glamour, performances, and entertaining absurdity that make it a worthwhile follow-up. Audience scores, however, paint a more divided picture. The popcorn meter has settled around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. It started in the low 40s right after release and hasn't climbed much since, with some early dips noted around 38 to 43%. A significant number of viewers feel the plot gets bloated and convoluted at points, with twists that come across as chaotic or forced rather than the clever, surprising ones from the first film, pacing that sags in scenes without the leads carrying the weight, and humor that's inconsistent compared to the original's razor-sharp precision. Many describe it as flashy and fun in bursts, but ultimately a step down, prioritizing wild absurdity over the tight suspense, real stakes, and balanced tone that made 2018 so special. That said, it dominated Prime Video's global charts in its early weeks, maintained strong viewership over time, and found a dedicated audience among streaming fans who love the stars, fashion, camp, and chaotic energy. It's just more polarizing than the broadly beloved original. Paul Feig has been incredibly positive and open about the franchise's future in interviews. He has a very good idea of where a third film could go. Even weirder, more outlandish adventures following the sequel's intriguing cliffhanger, that mysterious note, and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law Portia Versano, hinting at escalating mafia family business, new complications, and bigger international stakes. He's repeatedly said he's very open to a threequel, joking that he has no rule against threequels, despite his long history of avoiding sequels. This sequel was his first. He'd love to explore Stephanie and Emily's tentative, evolving friendship further, taking them out into the world even more, in wilder global directions with room for more fashion, chaos, and character growth. As of January 2026, there's no official green light, no announcements, no production dates, no confirmed timeline. But Feig is actively hatching ideas, and if streaming numbers stay solid and demand builds, it could happen sometime in late 2026, 2027, or whenever the timing feels perfect. He emphasizes not rushing it or letting too much time slip by. In the end, for 2026, the original A Simple Favor remains the shining star. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and flawlessly balanced from beginning to end. It's the one that perfectly captures everything: suburban secrets, social media satire, female empowerment, and those martini moments that linger. If you haven't revisited it lately, or if it's your first time, stream it first. It's widely available to rent, buy, or sometimes on platforms like Netflix or Hulu, depending on your region. Then, if you're up for glamorous escalation and wilder chaos, head to Prime Video for Another Simple Favor to see the Italian upgrade. Together, they form this addictive, stylish universe full of flawed, fascinating women, hidden truths, ambition, and how one small favor can spiral into something massive and unforgettable. Whether we get that third chapter, fingers crossed for even bigger twists, wilder fashion, more global mayhem, and perhaps some truly outrageous international settings, or the series stays at 2, this franchise is a total joy for anyone who loves smart thrillers with heart, humor, and incredible style. Pour yourself a dry martini, dim the lights, cue up the original, and let Stephanie and Emily draw you right back in. Trust me, these favors are too delicious to skip. Thanks for keeping the energy high. We're still fully immersed in this incredible A Simple Favor universe on this beautiful January 18th, 2026 afternoon, ticking over to around 1:03 p.m. in Satna, and honestly, diving deeper into these films just gets more exciting with every layer we peel back. If you're catching up on our ongoing chat, let's ground things with the foundation. The 2018 original, masterfully directed by Paul Feig, is this shining example of how to craft a thriller comedy that's equal parts stylish, suspenseful, hilarious, and thought-provoking, all on a modest $20 million budget that ballooned into nearly $98 million worldwide thanks to its word-of-mouth buzz and sharp appeal. Anna Kendrick brings so much heart and awkward charm to Stephanie Smothers, the widowed mommy vlogger who's equal parts organized perfectionist and hidden vulnerability, while Blake Lively commands every scene as Emily Nelson, the high-powered PR exec with flawless style, enigmatic secrets, and that unapologetic edge that makes her endlessly fascinating. Their dynamic is the beating heart, a friendship that's supportive yet competitive, genuine yet laced with deception, set against a backdrop of suburban Connecticut where everyday life hides dark undercurrents. The film's certified fresh 84% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, from hundreds of reviews praising its clever script, Feig's genre-blending direction, and the lead's chemistry, and 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter reflect how it resonated broadly, blending Hitchcockian suspense with modern feminist wit, biting satire on social media facades and motherhood pressures, and outfits that became instant icons. Those power suits and accessories aren't just pretty, they tell the story visually. Building on that foundation, the sequel Another Simple Favor finally graced Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after its glamorous premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7th, 2025, where it set the tone for a wilder, more ambitious chapter. Paul Feig, who typically steers clear of sequels, couldn't resist returning to direct because he adored these characters and saw endless potential in their world. He co-wrote the original screenplay with Jessica Sharzer, adapting Darcy Bell's novel, and here he teams up with Sharzer and Laeta Kalogridis for a fresh original story that honors the source while venturing into new territory. Kendrick and Lively are back in peak form, their on-screen rapport feeling even more lived in and layered after years of real-life friendship. They've talked about how their bond off-screen fueled the authenticity, with Henry Golding reprising the suave yet tormented Sean, Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin adding comedic relief as fellow parents, and the kids Joshua Satine and Ian Ho bringing innocent cuteness without stealing focus. Newcomers elevate the ensemble, Michelle Morone as the charismatic Italian Dante Versano bringing brooding intensity and romance, Elena Sofia Ricci adding Italian flair, Elizabeth Perkins seamlessly stepping in as Emily's eccentric mom, a role originated by Jean Smart in the first, Alex Newell injecting vibrant energy, and others like Allison Janney in a cameo that packs a punch. The plot catapults Stephanie and Emily to the idyllic yet treacherous island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's lavish wedding to Dante, where post-prison revelations, a shocking murder, identity theft, betrayals galore, mafia entanglements, and absurd twists turn what should be a celebration into a high-stakes farce. It's the first film on steroids, amping up the camp, glamour, and international scope while exploring how their complicated bond holds up under extreme pressure. The production values are where the sequel truly shines as a spectacle, filmed in spring 2024 across Capri's stunning landscapes. Think dramatic sea cliffs plunging into azure waters, historic villas with infinity pools overlooking the Mediterranean, charming harbors dotted with yachts, winding alleys lined with bougainvillea, and sun-drenched piazzas that scream luxury. It captures a sense of aspirational escape laced with danger. Cinematographer John Schwartzman, returning from the original, uses bold colors, fluid tracking shots, and close-ups that highlight expressions and outfits, while costume designer Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus, or her successor in spirit, outdoes herself with wardrobes that evolve the first film's aesthetic. Emily's looks are bolder and more theatrical, with flowing gowns in rich jewel tones, oversized sun hats that double as power statements, tailored suits for power meetings amid chaos, and accessories like statement jewelry that hint at hidden motives. Stephanie's evolution shows her gaining confidence through slightly edgier pieces, contrasting her practical mom vibe with newfound boldness. The score by Theodore Shapiro builds on the original's eerie yet upbeat mix, incorporating Italian influences and French pop nods for that chic vibe. And the editing keeps the pace zippy even in longer sequences. Fast forward to January 2026, and the sequel's legacy is one of enthusiastic critics tempered by audience division. It earned certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes with a tomato meter in the 70% ballpark, debuting strong at 73 to 80% post-SXSW, holding around 70 to 75% from 80-plus critics across aggregates, with some fluctuations to 58 to 70% in broader tallies. Lauded for its breathtaking visuals, addictive Kendrick lively chemistry, their improvised banter feels natural and sharp, campy excess, comedic timing, and stylish escalation that makes it a fun, if uneven, companion piece, critics call it a delicious, ridiculous romp that rewards fans with more of what they loved while adding fresh absurdity. Metacritic's mid-50s score reflects the mixed average, but positives dominate on glamour and leads. Audiences, however, are split on the popcorn meter at 35 to 40% from 1,000-plus ratings. Early lows in the 38 to 43% range haven't budged much, with complaints centering on a bloated, convoluted plot where twists feel forced or chaotic rather than ingenious, sagging pacing outside key duos, and humor that's spotty compared to the original's consistency. It's flashy fun for some, but a frustrating letdown for others who miss the tight balance. Still, it ruled Prime Video charts globally at launch, sustained viewership, and built a cult following among those hooked on the fashion, camp, and stars. Paul Feig's passion keeps the future bright. He's got a very good idea for a third film, teasing weirder escalations post-cliffhanger, the mysterious note and simple favor from Portia Versano opening doors to mafia wars, global chases, and deeper friendship tests. He's very open to a threequel, no aversion despite past reluctance, eager to push Stephanie and Emily worldwide in bolder ways. No green light in January 2026, no dates or announcements, but ideas are brewing, and strong demand could make late 2026 or 2027 a reality. Hey everyone, thanks for staying locked in with me on this endless A Simple Favor journey. It's still that glorious January 18th, 2026 afternoon in Satna, ticking past 1:03 p.m. now, and the more we unpack these films, the more they reveal their addictive pull. If you're just tuning in or need a quick refresher, the 2018 original directed by Paul Feig remains a timeless favorite, a stylish, twist-laden thriller comedy that turned a modest $20 million budget into a worldwide gross of nearly $98 million, earning a certified fresh 84% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, from hundreds of reviews highlighting its clever script, genre-blending brilliance, and powerhouse performances, and a solid 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter. Anna Kendrick's portrayal of Stephanie Smothers, the earnest, widowed mommy vlogger who's equal parts organized, awkward, and resilient, pairs perfectly with Blake Lively's commanding Emily Nelson, the enigmatic high society PR exec whose secrets and glamour drive the entire mystery. Their chemistry is electric from the start. A friendship built on shared martinis, swapped confessions, and subtle one-upmanship that spirals into something far more dangerous and entertaining. The film's sharp satire on social media perfection, motherhood pressures, and suburban facades, combined with Feig's dynamic direction, Hitchcock-inspired suspense, and Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus's iconic costumes, those power suits, bold reds, and accessories that scream sophistication and deception, make it endlessly rewatchable. You spot new foreshadowing every time. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, streamed exclusively on Prime Video, starting May 1st, 2025, after its buzzy world premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7, 2025. Feig returned to direct, his first sequel ever, after years of avoiding them because these characters and their world were too compelling to leave behind, reuniting Kendrick and Lively in roles that feel even more lived in thanks to their real-life friendship, while bringing back Henry Golding as the charming yet complicated Sean, Andrew Rannells, and Bashir Salahuddin for comedic support, and the kids for that sweet grounding. New additions like Michelle Morone as the suave Italian Dante Versano, Elena Sofia Ricci, Elizabeth Perkins as Emily's mom, stepping in seamlessly, Alex Newell, and even a fun cameo or two inject fresh energy and chaos. The story leaps forward, pulling Stephanie and Emily to the breathtaking island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant wedding, where post-prison life, old grudges, a shocking murder, identity twists, mafia undertones, and campy absurdity turn a dream destination into a nightmare of betrayal and high-stakes farce. It's the original subtle tension exploded into full-blown international glamour and over-the-top mayhem. The visuals are pure eye candy. Dramatic sea cliffs, luxurious villas with panoramic views, sun-kissed harbors, winding streets bursting with color, and fashion that's next-level extravagant. Emily's wardrobe evolves into theatrical gowns in rich jewel tones, massive statement hats, tailored ensembles that command attention, and accessories that hint at power and danger, while Stephanie's style gains bolder edges showing her growth. Cinematographer John Schwartzman keeps the vibrant palette and fluid shots. The score mixes eerie suspense with playful Italian flair, and the editing maintains that zippy pace even as the plot gets wilder. By January 2026, with the sequel out for about 8 months, its reception has solidified into a clear critics versus audiences divide. Critics have been largely positive, awarding it certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes with the tomato meter settling in the 70% range. It launched strong around 73 to 80%. Post-SXSW held around 70 to 75% from 80-plus critics in many aggregates, and saw some variations like 58 to 70% in broader tallies. Reviews praised the stunning Capri locations, jaw-dropping visuals, addictive Kendrick lively banter, still crackling with sarcasm, affection, and tension, campy excess, comedic bursts, and stylish escalation that makes it a fun, ridiculous companion piece. A dazzling cocktail of mystery, intrigue, and sharp casting that rewards fans with more glamour while adding new absurdity. Metacritic's mid-50s score reflects the mixed average, but the positives emphasize the leads, fashion, and entertaining energy. Audience scores, though, tell a more divided story. The popcorn meter sits around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early dips to the low 40s after release haven't improved much, with many viewers calling the plot bloated and convoluted, twists chaotic or forced rather than clever, pacing uneven outside the duo's scenes, and humor inconsistent compared to the original's precision. It's flashy and campy fun for some, especially those loving the stars and style, but a frustrating letdown for others who feel it sacrifices the first film's tight suspense and balance for over-the-top absurdity. It topped Prime Video global charts at launch, sustained solid viewership, and built a niche following, but it's more polarizing than the broadly beloved 2018 hit. Paul Feig's enthusiasm keeps hope alive for more. He has a very good idea for a third film, teasing even weirder, more outlandish adventures after the sequel's cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor from Emily's new mother-in-law, Portia Versano, opening doors to mafia family takeovers, global chases, and deeper tests of Stephanie and Emily's tentative friendship. He's very open to a threequel, joking about no rule against them, eager to push the characters worldwide in bolder ways with room for more fashion, chaos, and growth. No official green light as of January 2026, no announcements, production dates, or timeline, but ideas are brewing, and strong demand could make late 2026, 2027, or beyond a reality. He wants perfect timing, not rushed or delayed. In the end, the original A Simple Favor is still the unbeatable star. Tighter, funnier, more surprising, and perfectly balanced. Stream it first for that flawless experience. Widely available to rent, buy, or on platforms like Netflix/Hulu depending on region. Then hit the sequel on Prime Video for glamorous escalation. Together, they deliver an empowering, stylish universe of flawed women, secrets, ambition, and snowballing favors that's too fun to miss. We're deep into this A Simple Favor marathon on this perfect January 18th, 2026 afternoon in Satna, now just past 1:04 p.m. And honestly, every time I think about these movies, I find new reasons to rave about them. If you're joining late or need a refresh, the 2018 original directed by Paul Feig is still the gold standard. A brilliantly crafted, visually stunning thriller comedy that took a $20 million budget and turned it into nearly $98 million worldwide, earning a certified fresh 84% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes. From hundreds of reviews that praised its razor-sharp script, Feig's masterful blend of suspense and humor, and the standout performances, and a reliable 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter. Anna Kendrick's Stephanie Smothers is the ultimate relatable heroine. a widowed single mom who runs a popular mommy vlog filled with crafts, recipes, and carefully curated perfection. Yet underneath, she's grieving, lonely, and quietly desperate for connection. Blake Lively's Emily Nelson is her dazzling opposite, a high-powered, impeccably dressed PR executive who exudes confidence, mystery, and a touch of danger, drawing Stephanie into her orbit with effortless charisma and those iconic dry martinis. Their friendship starts innocently enough, play dates for their kids, boozy afternoons sharing secrets, but quickly becomes something far more complicated, layered with jealousy, admiration, and hidden agendas. The film uses every tool in its arsenal. John Schwartzman's vibrant cinematography that makes suburban Connecticut look like a glossy magazine spread, Theodore Shapiro's score that mixes eerie tension with playful beats, Renee Erlich-Kalfus's costumes that are practically characters themselves, Emily's bold power suits and accessories versus Stephanie's practical yet cute mom wardrobe, and a script by Jessica Scharzer, adapting Darcy Bell's novel, that delivers twists with precision and wit. It's empowering, satirical, and just plain fun, poking at the pressure to appear perfect online while showing how real women navigate messy lives, toxic dynamics, and unexpected power shifts. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, arrived on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after opening SXSW on March 7th, 2025 as the festival's opening night selection. Paul Feig returned to direct, finally giving in to the pull of these characters after years of avoiding sequels, and he co-wrote the original screenplay with Jessica Scharzer and Laeta Kalogridis to create a fresh story that honors the first film while pushing everything to new extremes. Kendrick and Lively are back and better than ever, their real-life friendship translating into an even more nuanced, charged dynamic. Stephanie has grown into a successful author and confident vlogger, while Emily has emerged from her past with even more audacity and glamour. Henry Golding reprises Sean with his signature charm. Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin keep the supporting comedy sharp, and the kids add that sweet, grounding innocence. New cast members bring fresh sparks. Michelle Morrone as Dante Versano, the wealthy Italian businessman whose charm hides complications. Elena Sofia Ricci adding authentic Italian elegance. Elizabeth Perkins as Emily's eccentric mother. Alex Newell injecting vibrant energy, and surprise cameos that land perfectly. The plot relocates the action to the breathtaking island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's lavish wedding, where old secrets resurface, a murder rocks the celebration, identities are questioned, mafia ties emerge, betrayals multiply, and everything spirals into glorious, over-the-top camp. It's the original's subtle suburban intrigue blown up into international high society farce. The sequel is a feast for the senses. Filmed in spring 2024 across Capri's stunning real locations. Dramatic cliffs plunging into turquoise seas, luxurious villas with infinity pools, charming harbors filled with yachts, sun-drenched piazzas, and narrow streets bursting with bougainvillea. It captures a sense of dreamlike luxury laced with danger. The cinematography is lush and dynamic. The costumes are next-level extravagant. Emily's wardrobe is now theatrical and commanding, with flowing gowns in deep jewel tones, massive statement hats, tailored pieces that scream power, and accessories that hint at secrets. Stephanie's style has evolved to show her newfound confidence with bolder, more sophisticated choices. The score builds suspense while incorporating playful Italian and French influences, and the editing keeps the energy high, even as the plot gets deliciously chaotic. In January 2026, the sequel's reputation has settled into a classic divide. Critics have embraced it with certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, the tomatometer holding in the 70% range. It debuted strong around 73 to 80% after SXSW, maintained around 70 to 75% from dozens of critics, with some aggregates showing slight variations like 58 to 70%. Reviews celebrate the jaw-dropping Capri visuals, breathtaking fashion, addictive Kendrick Lively chemistry, their banter is still razor-sharp and endlessly watchable, campy excess, comedic timing, and how it delivers a fun, ridiculous escalation. A dazzling, stylish follow-up that rewards fans with more glamour, absurdity, and intrigue. Metacritic's mid-50s score reflects the mixed average, but the critic love focuses on the leads, production values, and entertaining energy. Audience reactions are more polarized. The popcorn meter sits at 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early post-release dips to the low 40s haven't shifted much. with many viewers feeling the plot becomes bloated and convoluted. Twists land as chaotic or forced rather than clever, pacing drags outside the core duo's scenes, and humor is inconsistent compared to the original's precision. It's flashy, campy fun for some, especially those who adore the stars, fashion, and wild energy, but a disappointing step down for others who miss the first film's tight suspense, real stakes, and balanced tone. Still, it dominated Prime Video charts globally at launch, sustained strong viewership, and cultivated a dedicated cult following. Paul Feig remains enthusiastic about the future. He has a very good idea for a third film, teasing weirder, more outlandish directions after the sequel's cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor from Portia Versano opening the door to mafia family drama, global stakes, and deeper tests of Stephanie and Emily's evolving bond. He's very open to a threequel, joking about having no rule against them, and eager to take the characters even further worldwide. No official green light yet in January 2026. No announcements, no dates. But ideas are actively brewing. And if demand holds, late 2026 or 2027 could be possible. Thanks for still rolling with me on this endless, A Simple Favor deep dive. It's that perfect lazy January 18th, 2026 afternoon in Satna, just creeping past 1:05 p.m. now, and honestly, these movies have me so hooked I could keep talking about them forever. If you're still catching up or just need a quick anchor, the 2018 original directed by Paul Feig is the one that started it all and still feels like the most complete, satisfying package. A $20 million production that quietly became a nearly $98 million worldwide success, locking in a certified fresh 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, hundreds of reviews calling it one of the smartest, funniest, most stylish thrillers of the year, and a dependable 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter. Anna Kendrick's Stephanie Smothers is so perfectly realized. The kind of woman we all know or have been. A grieving widow trying to hold it together by building this flawless online persona of crafts, baking, and mommy wisdom. Yet underneath she's lonely, insecure, and craving real connection. Then Blake Lively swoops in as Emily Nelson, this whirlwind of confidence, mystery, and razor-sharp wit. Impeccably dressed, effortlessly cool, with a life that seems glamorous from the outside but hides layers of darkness. Their friendship is the film's secret weapon. It begins so casually, playdates, wine-fueled afternoons, sharing secrets over martinis, but it grows into something intense, competitive, supportive, deceptive, and ultimately transformative. The movie uses every element brilliantly. John Schwartzman's bright, saturated cinematography that makes the suburbs look aspirational yet unsettling. Theodore Shapiro's score that shifts seamlessly between playful and ominous. Renee Erlich-Kalfas's costumes that are storytelling masterpieces. Emily's bold, tailored looks versus Stephanie's softer, practical style. And Jessica Scharzer's script, adapting Darcy Bell's novel, that delivers twists with such elegant precision you feel both shocked and delighted. It's a film about female friendship at its most complicated, the pressure of projecting perfection in the social media age, and how small lies can snowball into life-altering consequences, all wrapped in dark comedy that never loses its heart. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, landed on Prime Video on May 1st, 2025, after its high-profile premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7th, 2025. Paul Feig came back to direct. This was huge because he had always said no to sequels, but he loved these women, their dynamic, and the world so much that he couldn't walk away. He collaborated again with Jessica Sharzer and brought in Leita Kalogridis for a completely original screenplay that takes the characters to new heights, or depths, depending on how you look at it. Kendrick and Lively return at the top of their game. Stephanie has leveled up into a published author and more confident vlogger, while Emily has come out of her past with even more audacity and glamour, their friendship now carrying the weight of everything they've been through. Henry Golding is back as Sean with that effortless charm and quiet intensity. Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin keep the side comedy sharp and relatable, and the kids still provide those sweet, innocent moments. New faces make the ensemble pop. Michelle Morone as Dante Versano, the handsome, mysterious Italian businessman, Elena Sofia Ricci bringing authentic Italian warmth and edge, Elizabeth Perkins stepping in as Emily's mom with her signature dry wit, Alex Newell adding vibrant, scene-stealing energy, and a few delightful cameos that land like perfect little surprises. The story moves the action to the stunning island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's extravagant, over-the-top wedding, where past secrets refuse to stay buried, a murder disrupts the celebration, identities are questioned, mafia connections surface, betrayals stack up, and everything spirals into pure, campy, glamorous chaos. It's the original's intimate tension blown up into a full-blown international farce with higher stakes and bigger laughs. And more martinis, of course. The production is a visual and sensory explosion. Shot on location in spring 2024, it showcases Capri's jaw-dropping beauty. Sheer cliffs dropping into turquoise water, luxurious villas with endless sea views, sun-drenched harbors full of yachts, charming piazzas, and narrow streets overflowing with bougainvillea and life. The cinematography is lush and dynamic, the costumes are next-level extravagant. Emily's looks are now theatrical masterpieces, flowing gowns in deep, rich colors, massive statement hats, tailored pieces that command every room, accessories that hint at power and danger. Stephanie's wardrobe shows her growth with bolder, more sophisticated choices that reflect her evolving confidence. The score layers suspense with playful Italian and retro French influences, and the editing keeps the pace lively even when the plot gets deliciously tangled. In January 2026, the sequel's legacy is one of enthusiastic critical support tempered by audience division. It holds certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes with the tomatometer comfortably in the 70% range. It opened strong around 73 to 80% after SXSW, maintained around 70 to 75% from dozens of critics, with some broader aggregates showing slight dips to 58 to 70%. Critics love the breathtaking Capri visuals, stunning fashion, addictive Kendrick lively chemistry. Their banter feels even more natural and sharp after years of real-life friendship. Campy excess, well-timed comedy, and how it delivers a fun, ridiculous escalation that feels like a worthy, if uneven, companion piece. Metacritic's mid-50s score reflects the mixed average, but the positives dominate on the glamour, leads, and entertaining energy. Audience scores are more split. The popcorn meter hovers around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early post-release numbers in the low 40s haven't moved much, with many viewers saying the plot gets bloated and convoluted, twists feel chaotic or forced instead of clever, pacing drags without the leads dominating, and humor is inconsistent compared to the original's razor-sharp precision. It's flashy, campy fun for some, especially fans of the star's style and wild energy, but a disappointing step down for others who missed the first film's tight suspense and balance. Still, it topped Prime Video global charts at launch, held strong viewership, and developed a passionate cult following. Paul Feig keeps the future exciting. He has a very good idea for a third film, teasing even weirder, more outlandish adventures after the sequel's cliffhanger, that mysterious note and simple favor from Portia Versano opening doors to mafia family drama, global stakes, and deeper tests of Stephanie and Emily's bond. He's very open to a threequel, joking about having no rule against them, and eager to take the characters further afield. No green light yet in January 2026, no announcements or dates, but ideas are active, and demand could make late 2026 or 2027 happen. If you're still riding along or popping in for the first time, let's take a breath and remember why the original 2018 movie directed by Paul Feig is still the one that sets the bar so high. It took a relatively modest $20 million budget and quietly turned into a nearly $98 million worldwide phenomenon, earning that certified fresh 84% critics score on Rotten Tomatoes. Hundreds of reviews celebrating its perfect tone, witty script, and genre mastery, and a rock-solid 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter that shows how much everyday viewers connected with it. Anna Kendrick gives Stephanie Smothers so much warmth and depth. She's the single mom who's built this beautiful, curated online life of DIY projects, healthy recipes, and inspirational mommy content. But behind the camera, she's carrying grief, loneliness, and a quiet hunger for real friendship and excitement. Then Blake Lively enters as Emily Nelson, this whirlwind of sophistication and danger, the kind of woman who walks into a room and owns it without trying, dressed in outfits that scream confidence and control, with a voice that drips dry humor and a past she keeps carefully locked away. Their relationship is everything. It starts with innocent playdates for their kids, escalates through wine-soaked afternoons where they trade stories and secrets, and slowly reveals itself as something far more intense, a bond that's equal parts supportive, competitive, admiring, manipulative, and ultimately life-changing. The film is a masterclass in visual storytelling. John Schwartzman's bright, almost too perfect cinematography that makes the Connecticut suburbs feel like a glossy lifestyle magazine. Theodore Shapiro's score that slides from playful to chilling in an instant, Renee Erlich-Kalfus's costumes that are practically narrative tools, Emily's bold, structured looks versus Stephanie's softer, everyday mom aesthetic, and Jessica Scharzer's script, beautifully adapting Darcy Bell's novel, that plants clues so cleverly you gasp when the pieces click. It's a movie about the masks we wear, the friendships we desperately need, the dangers of idealizing other people's lives, and the power women find when they stop pretending, all delivered with dark laughs, genuine heart, and twists that feel earned and exhilarating. The sequel, Another Simple Favor, finally brought us back to this world on Prime Video on May 1, 2025, after its star-studded premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7, 2025. Paul Feig returned to the director's chair. A big deal, because he had always been vocal about not doing sequels, but these characters, their chemistry, and the potential for more absurdity and glamour pulled him back in. He worked again with Jessica Sharzer and added Leda Kalogridis to craft an original screenplay that takes the story to bold new places. Kendrick and Lively are even more magnetic now. Stephanie has grown into a successful author with a bigger platform and more self-assurance, while Emily has emerged from her past with even greater audacity and style, their friendship carrying all the history, tension, and affection from the first film. Henry Golding returns as Sean with that smooth, layered presence. Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin keep the supporting cast funny and grounded, and the kids still deliver those sweet, innocent touches. The new additions are fantastic. Michelle Morone as Dante Versano, the handsome, enigmatic Italian businessman. Elena Sofia Ricci bringing authentic Italian flair. Elizabeth Perkins as Emily's mom with perfect deadpan delivery. Alex Newell adding vibrant, scene-stealing energy. And a handful of cameos that feel like delicious little gifts. The plot transports everyone to the breathtaking island of Capri, Italy, for Emily's lavish, over-the-top wedding, where old secrets come roaring back, a murder shatters the celebration, identities are stolen and questioned, mafia connections bubble up, betrayals multiply, and the whole thing becomes a glorious, campy, high-society disaster. It's the intimate, slow-burn tension of the first film exploded into full international glamour, absurdity, and chaos. The sequel is a visual and sensory extravaganza. Filmed on location in spring 2024, it captures Capri's unreal beauty, sheer cliffs dropping into crystal-clear turquoise water, luxurious villas with endless Mediterranean views, sun-drenched harbors lined with yachts, charming piazzas buzzing with life, and narrow streets overflowing with color and romance. The cinematography is rich and sweeping. The costumes are extravagantly next level. Emily's wardrobe is now pure theater. Dramatic gowns in deep jewel tones, enormous statement hats, tailored pieces that radiate power and mystery, accessories that tell their own story. Stephanie's style shows real growth with bolder, more confident choices. The score weaves suspense with playful Italian and retro French influences, and the editing keeps the energy electric even as the plot twists and turns. As of January 2026, the sequel's reception has crystallized. Critics gave it certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with the tomatometer comfortably in the 70% range. Strong opening around 73 to 80% after SXSW, steady around 70 to 75% from dozens of critics, with some broader counts showing slight variations like 58 to 70%. They rave about the stunning Capri locations, breathtaking fashion, addictive Kendrick Lively chemistry. Their banter feels even more lived-in and sharp, campy excess, comedic timing, and how it serves as a fun, ridiculous, stylish escalation. Metacritic's mid-50s score reflects the mixed average, but the critical love centers on glamour, leads, and entertainment value. Audience scores are more divided. The popcorn meter sits at 35 to 40% from over 1,000 ratings. Early numbers in the low 40s haven't climbed, with many feeling the plot gets bloated and convoluted. Twists feel chaotic or forced, pacing sags outside the core duo, and humor is inconsistent compared to the original's precision. It's campy, flashy fun for some, but a letdown for others who miss the first film's tight suspense and balance. Still, it ruled Prime Video charts at launch and built a passionate following. Paul Feig keeps the door open for more. He has a very good idea for a third film, teasing weirder adventures after the cliffhanger. That mysterious note and simple favor from Portia Versano hinting at mafia escalation, global stakes, and deeper friendship tests. He's very open to a threequel, and ideas are brewing. No green light yet in January 2026, but demand could make it happen. If you're still with us or just scrolling back to catch up, let's pause for a moment to celebrate the original 2018 film directed by Paul Feig, which remains not just a standout but a blueprint for how to make a thriller comedy that's equal parts glamorous, gutsy, and genuinely insightful. Starting with a lean $20 million budget, it snowballed into a nearly $98 million worldwide hit, nabbing that enviable certified fresh 84% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, drawn from hundreds of reviews that hailed its witty dialogue, impeccable pacing, and fresh take on female-led suspense, and a steadfast 72 to 73% audience popcorn meter that underscores its broad, lasting appeal. Anna Kendrick embodies Stephanie Smothers with such effortless authenticity. She's the every woman we root for, a single mom piecing her life back together after loss by pouring everything into her vlog, where she shares flawless recipes, crafty tutorials, and words of wisdom that mask her deeper vulnerabilities, her quiet ache for adventure and real intimacy. Enter Blake Lively as Emily Nelson, this force of nature who's all sharp edges and effortless allure, a high-flying PR exec who dresses like she's stepping out of a Vogue editorial, speaks in clipped, confident quips, and carries an air of untouchable mystery that pulls Stephanie in like a moth to a flame. Their connection is the film's true genius. What begins as a simple playdate favor evolves into afternoons of shared martinis, whispered confessions, and that intoxicating blend of envy and empathy, where admiration blurs into competition and trust teeters on the edge of betrayal. Feig weaves it all with masterful subtlety. John Schwartzman's cinematography bathes the Connecticut suburbs in a deceptively sunny glow that hides the shadows. Theodore Shapiro's score dances between bubbly and brooding. Renee Erlich-Kalfus's costumes serve as silent narrators. Emily's sleek, commanding silhouettes clashing beautifully with Stephanie's cozy, approachable layers. And Jessica Scharzer's screenplay, adapting Darcy Bell's gripping novel, layers in clues and reversals with such elegant restraint that the twists land like perfect punches, leaving you breathless but satisfied. It's more than entertainment. It's a sly commentary on the performative nature of modern motherhood, the thrill and terror of female ambition, and the way secrets can both bind and break us, all delivered with dark humor that feels cathartic, empowering, and utterly addictive. Fast forward to the sequel, Another Simple Favor, which hit Prime Video on May 1st, 2025 after its splashy world premiere as the opening night film at SXSW on March 7, 2025, where it immediately sparked buzz for its bolder swing and international flair. Paul Feig, who had famously sworn off sequels after hits like Bridesmaids and Spy, couldn't resist circling back here. He called it a once-in-a-lifetime exception, because the characters' unresolved energy and the fun of their dynamic demanded more exploration, and he teamed up again with Jessica Scharzer while bringing in Laeta Kalogridis to co-write an original tale that diverges from the book but captures its spirit in spades. Kendrick and Lively return fiercer than ever. Stephanie's no longer just the wide-eyed vlogger. She's a best-selling author with a sharper edge and a wardrobe that hints at her hard-won confidence, while Emily struts back into frame post-incarceration with amplified audacity, her glamour now laced with a defiant swagger that makes every entrance electric. Their friendship picks up right where we left off, now freighted with history, tentative trust, and that signature push-pull of sarcasm, support, and subtle sabotage, feeling even more authentic thanks to the actors' real-life rapport. They've shared stories of bonding over fashion and martini recipes during filming. Henry Golding slides back into Sean with his trademark blend of charm and quiet turmoil. Andrew Rannells and Bashir Salahuddin amp up the ensemble comedy as the exasperated parent friends, And the kids Joshua Satine and Ian Ho ground things with their wide-eyed innocence amid the growing madness. The newcomers steal hearts and scenes alike. Michelle Morrone as Dante Versano, the brooding yet magnetic Italian tycoon whose wedding to Emily sets the chaos in motion. Elena Sofia Ricci infusing authentic Mediterranean fire. Elizabeth Perkins nailing the role of Emily's eccentric mother with her trademark bite, stepping in seamlessly after Jean Smart's unforgettable turn in the first. Alex Newell bringing vibrant breakout energy that lights up every frame, and a roster of cameos that feel like winks to fans. The narrative jets off to the sun-soaked paradise of Capri, Italy, for what should be Emily's dream wedding, a lavish affair with white cliffs, azure seas, and endless champagne, but quickly devolves into a whirlwind of resurfacing secrets, a jaw-dropping murder that upends the festivities, identity swaps that twist reality, mafia whispers from Dante's shadowy family, cascading betrayals, and absurd, over-the-top hijinks that turn high society into a farce worthy of a Coen brothers fever dream. What elevates the sequel to visual splendor is its unapologetic embrace of excess. Principal photography wrapped in late May 2024 after a whirlwind spring shoot on location in Capri, capturing the island's postcard-perfect allure. Those vertiginous cliffs plunging into crystalline turquoise waters, opulent villas with infinity pools cascading toward the horizon, bustling harbors alive with sleek yachts and fresh seafood aromas, sun-warmed piazzas echoing with laughter, and labyrinthine streets draped in vibrant bougainvillea that contrast the brewing darkness. John Schwartzman returns on cinematography, employing sweeping drone shots and intimate close-ups to make the locations pulse with life and menace. While the costumes, overseen by a team channeling Renee Ehrlich-Kalfus's vision, reach new heights of extravagance. Emily's bridal looks are theatrical triumphs, from flowing silk gowns in emerald and sapphire hues to enormous veiled hats that evoke old Hollywood drama queens, paired with jewelry that doubles as plot devices. Stephanie's evolution shines in chic, travel-ready ensembles that blend her momcore roots with Italianate flair, like linen dresses with bold belts and scarves that scream quiet luxury. Theodore Shapiro's score evolves too, layering the original's eerie strings with sultry Italian guitar riffs and retro lounge vibes for that chic, sun-dappled tension, and the editing by Brent White, another Feig regular, juggles the escalating absurdity with snappy cuts that keep the runtime's 2 hours feeling brisk and bingeable. Here in January 2026, now 8 months post-release, the sequel's reception has fully crystallized into that classic Hollywood split, critics warming to its unhinged charm, while audiences remain more divided on its execution. It holds certified fresh status on Rotten Tomatoes, with a tomato meter settled around 70%. It burst out of SXSW with 73 to 80% early buzz from festival crowds, and initial reviews held steady at 70 to 75%, as more critics chimed in from over 80 tallies, though some broader aggregates dipped to 58 to 70%, reflecting the varied takes. Outlets like Variety and The Hollywood Reporter applaud the dazzling Capri vistas and bravura outfits that make every frame a Fashion Week highlight. The catty, irresistible chemistry between Kendrick and Lively that crackles like vintage champagne. The campy excess and well-timed comedic zingers that lean into absurdity without apology. And how it crafts a stylish cocktail of mystery, mafia-flavored intrigue, and sharp ensemble casting that rewards fans with escalation while carving its own niche tone. Metacritic's 54 out of 100 from 25 critics indicates mixed or average overall, but the positive chorus emphasizes the glamour, leads rapport, and entertaining ridiculousness that make it a guilty pleasure for genre lovers. On the flip side, audience scores via the popcorn meter linger around 35 to 40% from over 1,000 verified ratings. It hovered in the low 40s right after streaming debut and hasn't surged much since, with early dips noted around 38 to 43%. Where detractors often lament a bloated, convoluted plot that piles on twists until they feel chaotic and forced rather than clever, uneven pacing that drags in non-duo scenes despite the runtime, and humor that's spotty and over-reliant on camp at the expense of the original's precise suspense and emotional stakes. Many call it a flashy but hollow cash-in that commodifies the first film's magic into streaming fodder, yet it undeniably topped Prime Video's global charts for weeks on end, racked up millions of hours viewed, and cultivated a devoted cult following among those who adore the zany European caper vibes, killer fashion inspo, and that unbreakable Kendrick Lively spark. It's polarizing, sure, more of a love-it-or-leave-it affair than the original's broad embrace. But that's part of its chaotic charm, proving sequels can thrive by doubling down on what works while swinging for the fences. Paul Feig, ever the optimist and crowd-pleaser, has kept the sequel conversation alive with his infectious enthusiasm for the franchise's potential, revealing in post-release interviews that he's very open, no, extremely open, to a third film, because he's already got a very good, very weird idea percolating in his head, one that would take Stephanie and Emily even further afield after the sequel's tantalizing cliffhanger, that enigmatic envelope and simple favor request from Emily's new mother-in-law, Portia Versano, teasing escalating mafia entanglements, high-speed global chases, and profounder explorations of their hard-won, fragile friendship. He jokes about having no rule against threequels anymore after this sequel broke his streak, emphasizing he'd love to push the characters out into the world even more, with bigger budgets for wilder locations, more outrageous fashion, and deeper dives into themes like reinvention and loyalty under fire, perhaps jetting to Tokyo for corporate intrigue or the French Riviera for art world scandals. As of right now in January 2026, there's no official green light from Amazon, MGM Studios, or Lionsgate. No casting calls, no production start dates, no teased script pages. But Feig's been vocal about how the sequel's strong streaming metrics, it outperformed expectations in hours watched and social buzz, and the cliffhanger's deliberate setup have studios listening, with whispers of development talks ramping up post-holidays. If momentum builds, insiders speculate a late 2026 announcement could lead to a 2027 or early 2028 release, avoiding another 7-year wait while giving the team time to refine that weirder vision. Feig's track record speaks volumes. He's the guy who turned female-led comedies into blockbusters. So, if anyone can make a trilogy sing, it's him. Wrapping this latest chapter of our chat, in 2026, the original A Simple Favor endures as the flawless entry point. Tighter, wittier, more surprising, and impeccably balanced. A film that rewards every rewatch with its subtle clues, heartfelt beats, and empowering arc. If you haven't dusted it off lately, or ever, fire it up first. It's streaming on Netflix right now, but set to rotate off soon, so catch it while you can. Or rent/buy on your platform of choice for that crisp HD glory. Then, if you're game for the glamorous unhinged upgrade, cue Another Simple Favor on Prime Video for the full Italian immersion. Together, they paint this vivid, addictive portrait of women who refuse to play small, secrets that refuse to stay buried, and favors that always come with strings attached. Whether we score that third installment, fingers crossed for more twists, more martinis, and maybe even a crossover vibe, or savor the duology as is, this franchise is a testament to how stories about messy, magnificent friendships can evolve into something timeless and thrilling.